We'll go ahead and let the opening cinematic play while I do a little bit of an introduction, of course. Today I'll be starting my first playthrough in a while of Pokemon Sacred Gold. This is a pretty old ROM hack. I want to say it came out in 2012, according to the documentation at least. I wouldn't have played it until, I don't know, 2017-ish, when I started getting into ROM hacks and randomizers and all of that kind of stuff, but while I did jump into it every now and again for, you know, a few years following that, it has been a while since I've played through this hack. I was, for a long time, or at least for the past year or two, I should say, waiting for Drayano and Aphex Cube's update to Sacred Gold. Kind of like the Voltway 2 Redux equivalent, which they're dubbing Aurora Crystal. Which makes sense, because HGSS are basically dual version remakes of Crystal. It's sort of a misnomer to call them Gold and Silver remakes. Really, it's just that, you know, they wanted to justify selling two different versions. What's good, Space Cowboy? Good to see ya. But yeah, even though the title screen says Heart Gold, this is Sacred Gold, as you'll see with Professor Oak's introduction here. I've disabled the speed up button, so once again, we're not going to be using speed up to try to pace things a little bit better. Although the text is going to be pretty slow until I can adjust that in a little bit. Yeah, welcome to Sacred Gold or Storm Silver, a hack with an expansion of many features. Yeah, so I'm not surprised that the Redux for this hack is going to be Aurora Crystal. I just was tired of waiting, and I'm sure I'll play Aurora Crystal when it drops, but there are some changes that Voltway 2 Redux made compared to the original Voltway 2 that I'm not a fan of. Of course, adding in fairy typing and all of that is fine, but like moving trainers around for no reason and buffing some Pokemon way too much, like Flygon for instance, which I used, and it was like way too powerful. And they're just like it's a bunch of little things like that that probably would have me preferring the original Voltway 2. In this game's case, which we'll get into, this being a Gen 4 game, there are some limitations that I think would benefit from a Redux equivalent. Like, Renegade Platinum is probably my favorite Drayano hack of the ones I've played. I've not played his Oris hack, and I don't think I've actually played his Ruby and Sapphire one either. But, I've played all of his DS ones, at least, thus far. And, yeah, this one I think holds up better than Blaze Black Volt White 1. That is a hack that even at the time, in like 2017, 18-ish, when I started playing these hacks, that was always a hack that I was like, this doesn't feel as polished. But I remember not feeling that way about Sacred Gold, Storm Silver, and Volt White 2, Blaze Black 2, Volt White 2. In particular, because those were released, I want to say, a year after Blaze Black Volt White 1. So it makes sense there were some lessons learned and all of that. It also seems like Aurora Crystal, based on the GitHub page at least, is like adding in Mega Evolution and maybe even adding in later gen Pokemon, and I'm like, that's fine. I don't necessarily feel like I need that. I feel like, if anything, as I was trying to figure out what I wanted my team to be for this playthrough, the biggest limitation is that the ability pool is just like not that great compared to Gen 5. In that Sturdy is barely a real ability. So like if I wanted to get like a Dawn fan, basically doesn't have an ability, right? There's no like Sheer Force, there's no, so like, you know, the Nidos are kind of not as good, and then like, you know, Feraligatr is a little bit limited, although that line gets Guts and then Intimidate ultimately. So like good abilities, no doubt. But what else? Regenerator. So like Pokemon like Slowbro and stuff like that. It's like, what are you running, Oblivious? Like, I really like abilities in Pokemon. It is one of those factors that I am glad has been a thing since Gen 3. It's just that the variety and availability of said abilities is, I feel those limitations prior to Gen 5, I feel like. Which is why my default, I feel like, when it comes to randomizers especially, is Gen 5, because if I'm randomizing abilities, there's so many more interesting and powerful abilities and whatnot that you could pull, potentially. And in Gen 4, there's some solid ones. I think Magic Guard was in this gen, Intimidate and stuff like that, obviously from Gen 3. You know, Flame Body. Like, there are good abilities, but that's like the thing that I was feeling the most. I do kind of have my team planned out already. Now, of course, I should say, this hack came out before Gen 6, so there's no fairy typing. This is like as Gen 5ified as possible. So like no Gen 5 mons, no Gen 5 abilities, but move pools were adjusted. If there was like a Gen 1 through 4 move that a Pokemon gets in Gen 5 that it didn't in Gen 4, it's been given it here. Some evolutions have been changed, some types have been changed, as is the case with one Pokemon I'm going to be running. But for the most part, this hack is like very vanilla plus. Like, and that's what I like about the Drayano hacks, is they don't change too much. And I guess as far as the game itself, with Heart Gold Soul Silver, I have a lot of nostalgia for this game, partially because of the game itself, but mostly, well, maybe not mostly, but definitely partially because of my nostalgia for the original Gen 2, which was the first Pokemon game that I played. I think it was a borrowed copy of a borrowed copy of Crystal from a friend of mine back in like kindergarten or something. So this was over 20 years ago at this point. What's up, Joshua? Best Pokemon game ever. It's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. I think this hack helps a lot with adjusting some of the issues. But I've got a major soft spot for HGSS. Partially, like I was saying, because of that Gen 2 nostalgia, but also this is one of those game releases that I remember. This is before I could drive. This is like early high school. I remember like being in the car, my dad driving me home, and like actually, that's the great thing about handheld games, is I was able to like start it up in the car on the way home from GameStop. And yeah, that's like a really vivid memory of mine. That and like Super Smash Bros. Brawl are like two game launches that I really remember quite fondly, I would say. Although Brawl, I was like combing through the instruction manual, as opposed to actually getting to play it. And so, we're gonna be fighting the allegations today. Hashtag not all Typhlosions. First Pokemon game release you remember. Yeah, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's the first one I remember, but it is one that is very memorable to me. I think because like I got Ruby late. I got Ruby like the Christmas after it came out. And then I definitely got Leaf Green on launch. I think I got Emerald on launch, and then I think I got everything on launch all the way until Oris, and then I stopped getting them on launch because I like did not like Gen 6 that much at the time. I look back on Gen 6 a little more fondly now, mostly because of what we've been getting, but yeah. Yeah, we're fighting the allegations today. Hashtag not all Typhlosions. Also, wasn't that specifically a Hisuian Typhlosion from the leaks? So, hey, sins of the father, not of the son, right? Isn't that the phrase? Sins of the daughter, even better. We are. This Typhlosion is definitely beating the allegations. Not only is it not male, but it's also not Hisuian. I usually name my Typhlosions after volcanoes. Like, Mount St. Helens is one that comes to mind, but like, what do I call it? St. Helen? It's like a little weird. Krakatoa, Vesuvius. Let me just Google real quick, because I like to be thematic in my Pokemon nicknames. Famous volcanoes. Let's see here. Oh, Pele? Okay, wait a second. That might be cooking. Because Pele is like a... I recognize that name from SMT, although it's spelled a little bit different here. In Hawaiian mythology, Pele is the goddess of volcanoes. That's perfect. That's literally perfect. And let me just make sure I spell it correctly. Okay, it's just P-E-L-E, no accent. Mount Pele, or the volcano Pele, is like P accented E-L-E-E from what I was saying. Beautiful. It's lit. Of course, we have the walking Pokemon, which is something that I'm glad you can do in Renegade Platinum as well, which is pretty sick. No additional patch needed here, though, since this was, of course, a defining feature of this gen, and something that people really have latched onto. I really love this feature. It's not a make it or break it for me, but I do like it, that your lead Pokemon follows you. It's pretty cool. Neutral Nature, Flash Fire, not bad. I'll probably change the natures later, because that's like just something that I do with these, because it bothers me when it's not like a good nature, but I don't want to grind for a good one. I don't really care about IVs and EVs and shit. We'll just make do. As I typically do. I don't really touch those at all. Although when I look into, usually after my playthroughs, I'll look at their IVs, and I'll be like, okay, that explains a lot. Surprised they never, well, not in the traditional sense, but like Let's Go had something similar. And I like the way that Let's Go did ride Pokemon actually too. And then I know, I mean, I haven't played Scarlet and Violet since around when it launched, just because I was like so morbidly curious about it. But I think they added something into that. I think that's a feature there now. BDSP had it, but it was jank from what I understand. But yeah, it's interesting that it didn't stick around for Gen 5. I feel like that would have been cool. Alright, it's super lit. And you know what? I'll take a neutral nature over, like, if it was adamant or something. Or, like, brave would be, probably even worse. Oh, I need to change my text speed. Forgot to do that. But yeah, my issue with picking Feraligatr in this gen, I think Feraligator's dope. I do. The problem is that I guess you could have, like, an HM slave in the box, but the problem is if you want to run a Surfmon, then you would need to get another water type, and water typing is good. It's not a bad idea to have two waters on a team, necessarily, especially if you complement them, like you get a water ground or something. Or just some kind of like dual type to complement the other water. Definitely has the weakest start. It's one of the weaker ones, certainly stat-wise. I do like them, though, like design-wise, but there's some flaws. We're gonna play set and do that. Okay. Save once more just to get those settings saved. Yeah, my issue with running Gator is like, he's cool. I like the whole physical water type thing. This was even worse in Gen 2, honestly, because no physical special split. So therefore, you couldn't run like physical stab on it. And I mean, that's a problem for a lot of Pokemon pre-Gen 4, honestly. It's wild to me that there are people out there who don't like physical special split. I think in competitive, I get it. Like, I understand the appeal of like Gen 2 and Gen 3 competitive to an extent, especially Gen 3, ADV. Right, singles, I mean. But as far as in-game, it's like, no physical special split, that just limits you a lot. Like, I think about Pokemon like Crawdaunt, which they specifically made in Gen 3, when Water and Dark were both special attacking types, and they made two physical attacking Water Darks in Gen 3, which I think is just heinously... They had to have been planning to do the physical special split even like as early as Gen 3's development, because there's no... I know I keep saving constantly. Force a habit. Although that's usually with Battle Network where it saves instantly, but yeah. My day was alright. I got quite a bit done. Still need to record my next video, but I'll probably do that tomorrow. Yeah, I guess there's a lot more to go over than I thought there would be. Not that I have to go over it all in one go. But yeah, like HMs do limit team building to an extent. Especially in Gen 4, because I feel like both the Sinnoh games and this game have more mandatory HMs than the Gen 5 games. I feel like in Gen 5, because of the way it's structured, you can kind of get away with not having to run a fly mon on your team. And I guess in Black and White 2, you kind of do want a surfer on the squad, because there's a lot of mandatory... There's at least a few mandatory water routes, whereas in Black and White 1, I don't think that's the case. But yeah, it's not like terrible. I don't mind. That's usually what I use the Red Gyarados for, is like for HMs, because it learns Strength, Rock Smash. Does it learn Cut? It learns Waterfall, Whirlpool, Surf. It learns pretty much all of them. And yeah, that's my thing, is like using a physical water type, or I don't even know if there's many special attacking flyings. But if there are special attacking flying types, it's hard to justify using, I guess, Yon Mega, but I don't think that thing learns Fly to begin with. Just because of the HMs, like if you kind of want Surf, someone who can use Surf reliably. It's less so a problem with this game specifically, it's just a problem with HMs in general. I don't need any encounters from up here. Swablu's cool, though. Maybe if I do Rising Ruby and/or... Well, not and/or. If I do Rising Ruby or Sinking Sapphire, maybe we throw a Altaria on the team. That'd be kind of cool. That's one of those mons that I just... It's hard to squeeze on, because I'd probably rather use a Salamence or a Flygon. But I like the Cloud Dragon. I forget. Okay, this tutorial's still in here, which is fine. I guess we already have the running shoes, so... But he gives the map, right? The map card. Bum, 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 bum. One issue that is shored up pretty majorly in this hack is Pokemon availability. Infamously, there's a lot of Gen 2 mons introduced in Gen 2, I should say, like Houndour, Misdreavus, and others that you normally in Vanilla can only catch in Kanto, which is like halfway through, basically, if you're counting Red as being the final boss. So, I mean, I don't need to heal right now, but... So that's like an unfortunate thing. Oh, it's nighttime already. That's an unfortunate thing in the vanilla game, but in this hack, I would even say it maybe goes too far in the other direction, where I'm gonna have a full squad based on the mons that I want to get by... Let me check. Let me remind myself who I wanna run. Because I have a tab open with that information. By Chuck, I think I'll have a full squad, if my calculations are correct. And I guess I should look and see, just confirm where our second squad member is going to be. I'm pretty sure I know. Apologies, I'm just trying to look at the docs real quick. And I don't want to... Okay, yeah. Perfect, and it's perfect because we're playing at night. If anyone wants to take a guess. Whenever we're upcoming on a squad member, if y'all want to take like one guess at it, you can feel free to let me know. But yeah, the squad is pretty set in stone. I was struggling to like figure out a good balance between... We're gonna ignore this guy's house because he yells at us, which is funny. How in the world? So oblivious to my eye-catching house. I guess one feature that this hack is missing compared to Renegade is the doubled speed in battles, like those options. Obviously, that's pretty much all I need from an Aurora Crystal is basically Renegade Platinum, but HGSS. But I feel like they're going to do more than that, and that is kind of like, again, it's fine, but it's not really what I'm looking for. I really do just want like Vanilla Plus. Not like Vanilla Plus Plus. And this hack has some like additional story moments and stuff like that too, which I think are fine. This is one of those gens. I know I'm usually the guy in my videos to be like, oh, if you're gonna tell a story, it should be good, blah blah blah. I just feel like the story in this game isn't. It's not so much the focus that I feel disappointed by it. Really, do I think there should have been more when you get to Kanto, maybe, or like should Giovanni have actually shown up? Like, yeah, probably. But I don't know, I think what's there is, like, fine. At least the admins actually have names and unique designs in this remake. And this is definitely added because I don't think Cynthia... Like, there's no way Cynthia actually shows up in Vanilla. Certainly not. Although she does appear in this game via the Sinjo Ruins, like, Arceus quest line, which I think this was the first game you could actually get Arceus, whatever you want to call it. Because, isn't it like the infamous quote? Oh, that's why we get an EV here. I'm not running an evolution this time around. I like the option, though. What was I saying, though? Yeah, I think like the infamous quote is that the Azure Flute would have been too confusing for players in Gen 4. Or, well, in the Sinnoh games, rather. And you can still action replay it in, but like the actual event didn't happen in that game. Whereas I think you can get Arceus in this game, legit. You know, assuming that you participate in the event, of course. Mystery Egg, of course it turns out to be Togepi. Spoiler alert, like whatever, but this is pre-fairy typing, so not quite as good. And I guess the fairy typing thing, that is one that I can kind of take or leave. I think for certain mons it's nice. Like for the mons that turn into a fairy type, it is definitely a benefit. My thing is that there's not very many of those prior to... There's not very many retroactive fairy types. Like what, Wigglytuff, or like, you know, Jigglypuff line, Clefable line, Togekiss. I think that's it. Maybe there's like one more that I'm forgetting. But that's it. And I don't really... Wigglytuff kind of sucks. Clefable's good. Clefable's good even without the fairy typing, though. Togekiss is also solid without the fairy typing. They're both definitely better with it. But those are also... I think Togekiss would be the most likely one that I would use, but I did use it in Renegade Platinum already. Eventually I will come around as I, you know, stream these games over the years and come back to, like, you know, replay some. I will undoubtedly use Pokemon more than once and stuff like that, but for now, this first run through the DS games, I'm trying to not use repeats. Especially because of my plans to do Pokemon World Tournament with all 4 teams. But, like, you know, being able to mix and match and stuff like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to be feeling the lack of 60 FPS. I feel, in the battles, I mean. Just because Gen 4 is infamously slow, obviously. I don't think it's, like, too bad. But, yeah. I think this is one of those remakes where the pros certainly outweigh the cons in my eyes, and that's coming from someone who has a lot of nostalgia for Gen 2, of course. Even though it wasn't the first Pokemon I beat, it was the first one that I played. And then I would go back and, you know, beat my own copy of Pokemon Gold during Gen 3. It was like, I think it was prior to Diamond and Pearl, it must have been. Because I was like so obsessed with Pokemon at that time, during like the Gen 3 era. It's interesting to think back too. I don't plan to stream Diamond and Pearl because like I already did Platinum, and that's just like the way to play Sinnoh. I feel that way more strongly than in a lot of other cases. Now this is this is a ROM hack, so I'm like, do I leer a couple times? Do I just spam tackle? I feel like it might not be a bad idea to get a leer off, at least one. Maybe use minus defense nature or something. Goes for his own leer. I do have a potion. Okay, nice. I think that's a 3-hit KO. It's probably a roll for that, but... Of course he crits. Oh, I forgot I had the EV. I don't want you to get experience. I would have boxed this if I had known. I'm gonna intentionally lose this because this was not the plan. No, I'm not using... Oh, man. I can't believe I fumbled this so hard. I'm not using the Eevee, so just, like... It's annoying. I actually don't know how this works, though, because I don't think I healed at the Pokemon Center. So we can do a little bit of science here. Can you just... Dude, just finish it. Dude, there ain't no way that the AI is just not gonna kill me here. I'm like actually baffled right now. What? Okay, thank you. Oh, that's canon now? Alright. Apologies for that. I should have boxed the Eevee. I guess if I had just lost there anyway, then whatever. I actually kind of like the idea of rival battles not booting you back to the Pokemon Center, because it's not like a life or death scenario. And that way there can be like character development, like I guess for your own team. In a sense, like if you lose to any of the fights. We're boxing an Eevee that I'm not using. Reiterate that once again. Okay. Much better. Should have just taken the L. Because I would have gotten crit, and then I wouldn't have gotten the experience anyway. But also part of me thought that I would get booted back to the Pokemon Center, because I thought that's what happens in this fight. But maybe now that I've healed here, that is what's going to happen. If I lose, so we'll see. That should be the only instance of a mistake like that, ideally. Although, something I do remember is, when you fight this guy in the original, it says his name is question mark, question mark, question mark. My dumbass, when I first played my friend's borrowed copy, was... my dumbass definitely actually told the police officer that his name was literally that. When I first played this game. But I was like 4. I was like 4 or 5 or something like that, so. Alright, we won, yay! There's like no fanfare because technically I should have just taken the L and boxed the Eevee after anyway. But whatever. One level's not really gonna make much of a difference, honestly. In the long run. Especially because I'm going to have a full squad pretty early. So that'll, of course, split the experience pretty majorly. Like, sooner than I would usually have a full squad, I feel like. It is a tricky balance, I guess, as far as, like, Pokemon availability. You don't want a Gen 5 scenario where you're getting pawn yards, like, right before the 8th gym, and therefore you might as well you're just gonna evolve it immediately anyway, or it's gonna be drastically underpowered, so it's like, what's the point of this? That's more so a case for some of those mons being 3 stages, though, instead of 2. So that way the evolution levels can be paced a little bit better. But at the same time, I actually kind of weirdly like the early to mid game of Pokemon games where you only have like 3 or 4 mons, most of which are middle evos. Like, there's something about that I enjoy. So I don't want to get to like a full team of 6 fully evolved like too soon, because then I feel like you kind of miss out on that progression. His name, call him Mongoose, no. Call him Silver, as per usual. I wonder what happens if you leave it blank. It might just default to that, actually. This is probably one of the few Pokemon games where you can name your rival, but also it doesn't give you suggested names, because you don't name him at the start. Which, let me think, like Gen 1 you name him at the start, Gen 3 you can't name them. Gen 4 you name them at the start, Gen 5 you can't name them. In Black and White 1, right? I think it's... Yeah, I don't think you can name Charon or Bianca, which makes sense. But then Hugh you can. And that's at the beginning, I think. And then the 3D games, I mean, I've played them, but I literally have no idea if or when you can nickname them. I guess no, because other characters need to... Well, there's no voice acting, though. So they could... But I don't think you can, though. Certainly not in Gen 7. Gen 6, I don't know. When was the last time I played X and Y? I don't know. A while ago. Take the Pokemon Gym Challenge. I kind of like the spontaneity of the journey here, how there is no real particular goal. It's just like, hey, let's just go have an adventure. And I guess Gen 1 is similar. Honestly, Gen 3 starts out similarly, too. Gen 4 is really the one where Barry's like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. I don't mind that. I don't. I feel like in a lot of cases, I actually prefer... when RPGs in particular, which Pokemon is obviously not a very narrative-focused RPG, so I don't really judge it by the same criteria that I would a Final Fantasy or like a Megami Tensei or something. Although I guess like the more narrative-focused ones, yes I would, but like this game in particular, it's just not really trying to tell a deep story, it's not trying to necessarily have compelling characters. It just like kind of is, it's like pure in that way, which doesn't necessarily make it better or worse, but I don't know, maybe it's a cop-out, maybe it's nostalgia, I don't know. But it's one of those things where I'm able to enjoy... Nice, they skipped this, okay. I'm able to enjoy these games even in my adulthood. I think partially because the ROM hacks obviously fix certain issues. Are you serious? The ROM hacks, of course, fix certain issues. And then, like, you know, there's randomizers, and there's, like, other ways to play besides just, like, straight up. Like, playing straight up. We'll just heal at the Cherry Grove Pokemon Center. And then we can actually, like, get to battling, finally. Because I also think about the way I play Pokemon. Even... God, my neck is really stiff. Shit. Even in these ROM hacks, you'll notice I don't fight wild Pokemon because there's literally no reason to. If you fight every trainer, even in these ROM hacks, you'll be fine. Assuming you're not Nuzlocking. Which that's like it, that I've mentioned this before, but that is like one factor to Nuzlocking, especially in recent years, that turns me off from it. Because it's like, you're always been maxing, you're always, like, your EV training and shit. I'm just like, nobody likes EV training. I'm sorry. No, nobody likes it. You do it because you have to. Hey, comment below if you actually enjoy EV training, like, actually enjoy it. Like, if that process was removed, you would be sad. Because I'm just like, man, I know for me, I have zero interest in EV training. Zero. So, that's why Pokemon Showdown is kind of the GOAT. Even though I don't get on there too often, it is, it's nice to just be able to, you know, play. And not have to sit around, like, killing, I don't know, Metapods for a million hours or whatever. Probably not the best example, but, you know. I wonder if I can get repels. Also, you... Not to slander, but that battle animation... That was like hardly an animation. It didn't even move. Wild. Yeah, no repels, obviously. I have 15 Pokeballs. That should be enough to get team member number 2. And I'm going a little bit atypical this time around with my squad. Like, I'm picking quite a few of my favorite mons, but not like, I guess, like, subtle spoiler alert for my team. No Ampharos on this team. I like Ampharos a lot. Definitely one of my favorite Gen 2 mons. But I want to shake it up because, like, I always use, not always, literally, but most of the time, most of my teams are like Typhlosion, Ampharos, and then 4 others kind of deal. So this time around, I'm like intentionally... Not intentionally, it was more so that it didn't quite fit on the squad as far as like trying to balance special attackers and physical attackers, and also trying to balance like resistances and stuff like that. Ultimately, some of that doesn't matter too much. Some of my previous teams have been pretty weak to certain types. And in this case, I think that's kind of the case. Like, I don't think there's going to be a flying resist on the squad. But I think it'll be fine. The focus energy immediately. Can't wait to get crit again. Ugh. Yeah, we're gonna need that Ember sooner than later. This is a problem. It might be a bit of an uphill battle to Oh my god, this thing is tanky as hell. Nice dodge. Nice 95 accurate tackle. Maybe it's hustle. In which case, I hope I don't get one shot. Also, I'm pretty sure Cyndaquil gets quick attack, yeah, at some point. Speak of the devil, please don't one-shot me. Yes, we landed. Bless up. Bing. Lit. No Ember or quick attack yet. It's gonna, yeah, it's gonna be, Now see, this is... I'm so torn. I think it's funny when you get called in, like, the Team Rocket base and shit. And it's like... just like that whole meme of, like, your phone's going off when you're trying to sneak in and shit. But, I don't know, I find some of these phone calls to be like pretty annoying, actually, more so than beneficial. It's a cool feature. The problem is you can't delete numbers, like you can't. And I'm just like, youngster Joey in particular, I feel like he calls more often than most, maybe. Yeah, we need like modern phone features. Like, can you block youngster Joey? Oh lord. I guess this happens even without speed up. Yeah, I don't know if this is a problem with this hack, or if it's just emulating HGSS in general. But I do remember this being a thing. I don't think this was a thing in Renegade Platinum at all. I think a way to reset it sometimes is just going into different menus, but I might need a soft reset. Yeah, okay. What an annoying thing. Maybe another case for Aurora Crystal over this? Assuming that, you know, gets fixed. But you know what we're getting into. It's like over a decade-old ROM hack. So I'm not surprised that some of these things weren't able to be circumvented. I'm just hoping they don't make too many changes. Like, too many pointless changes. And that's no shade at, like, Apex Cubed or whatever, I just want Renegade Platinum, but, like basically Renegade Platinum, but this game. That's, like, all I need and want. Maybe expectations are higher than that, because everyone seems to love Voltway 2 Redux, but I'm like, watch them move youngster Joey 2 panels up for no reason. So that way you can't avoid him if you want to. So just, like, removing player agency. I'm just like, there's no reason to do that. Nuzlockers are going to take the fight for the experience, and people who want to skip can skip. That's like my biggest pet peeve about Voltway 2 Redux is the trainer rearrangements. Like, totally, like, basically cut out an entire half of Skyla's gym and implemented a soft lock as well. Granted, you kind of have to go out of your way to trigger the soft lock, but there is a soft lock. Straight up. Still no Ember. I bet I get it on this next level up, though, probably. I don't fucking remember. I don't remember level up move, like, levels, like, what level we're actually gonna get that at. And, you know, maybe because this has Poison Point, while I do think I have an antidote, I think it's actually smarter to Leer and then try to one-shot it to try to minimize the potential poison points that could happen. So we'll Leer twice. Maybe 3 times would be better, but... Okay, level 8. Also, watch Aurora Crystal get released, like, during this playthrough. That would definitely be something that would happen to me. Which is fine. I would probably just play it on my own time in that case, I guess. Because it'd be, like, I wouldn't want to stream it so soon after doing this one. That's like one downside to just, like, jumping into this instead of continuing to wait. Oh my god. That's, oh, of course you get the confused. Alright, just break through. Yes. Goes to the scratch. This seems like a good time to use my... one of my... I didn't know I had 7 potions, okay. But I had like 1 or 2. I probably picked up 2 and they probably gave me 5. I'm assuming, and I just wasn't paying attention. Goes to the Dizzy Punch, doesn't do as much as I thought because you're a Sentret. Snapped out, and like after 1 turn is crazy. Okay, this is a problem if I can't do a KO. Ugh. I should have known it would go for Bide. These things always go for Bide. I should have just leered to be safe. Oh, it's faster, that's right. Okay. Yeah, we lived that pretty easily. I was trying to smoke screen in case I was faster, which... I mean, Bide always goes first, right? I guess for some reason I figured that the last turn of Bide wouldn't. But no, who actually uses Bide? If anything, though, a human player would utilize Bide pretty well, I think. I guess the tricky thing is you need to be able to tank 2 hits. Which, especially in ROM hacks like this, is probably unlikely. And if that's the case, you probably are in an advantageous type matchup, in which case, why don't you just click and attack and kill it? Or 2-hit KO it. Instead, yeah, Bide is so bad, wow. The more I think about it, the worse it gets. Like, actually. Alright, good thing I healed up. Even though I'm faster, but I don't think this one-shots... Yeah, no. Alright. Show me Ember. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now we have a special attacking stab move. Finally. Oop. Looking good. I think... I don't have any berries right now. I think I'm just going to use a potion instead of running back, just to save a little bit of time. And I guess I don't know exactly how many streams this will be, because of course we have all of Kanto to do once the gym badges are done. I did figure, though, some of the gym badges in this game are pretty close together to the point where I might end up doing multiple in one stream. Probably not this first one, right? Because I've been going for... It's been about an hour. I mean, like, we can make our way towards Azalea, but I don't think... I feel like, if anything, Azalea and, like, Goldenrod could be together. Or at the very least, like, Goldenrod and Necrotique. Like, there's a few that I could see being done in the same stream. Like, Chuck and Jasmine are likely as well. Although there's, like, an additional scenario over that way as well. That's more like it. We're actually 2 KOing stuff. Sleep being absolutely broken. As it is. Without Sleep Claws, I just have to force myself to wake up. Or try to wake up. That's something that I think would be nice to implement in these ROM hacks, is a Sleep Clause, if that's even possible. Because the fact that there are ways around it, I guess, to an extent, but it's like, I mean, but also to an extent, not really, though. I kind of want to heal. Because if I kill this and something comes out that can, like... I guess I would just potion, but I feel like this is probably less of a threat than whatever might come out, probably. But yeah, the fact that the AI can just sleep every mon on your team if you try to switch around is really dumb. I don't like it. That's just a Pokemon problem in general, though. So if I ever bring something like that up that applies to other games in the series, don't take that as me jabbing at this game. It's a complaint that I had with, I think like all of my DS Pokemon streams on the channel. Thankfully in Renegade Platinum, I was running Empoleon with Vital Spirit, so I did have a Sleep Absorber in that case. But I think, like in this gen, I don't think grass types are immune to powder moves yet. I think? I forget when certain things change. So, like certainly electric types can still get parried. Through, like, Thunder Wave, at least. No, they probably can get parried through any means. Yeah, they're just, like... Yeah, there's some changes in some of the later gens that I think I appreciate retroactively being implemented into some of these hacks. So we'll see. I do think future playthroughs of Black and White 2 are I think my next playthrough of Black and White 2, whenever that is gonna be vanilla Blaze Black Volt White 2 and not Redux, just to like see and try to confirm how I feel about it. Right, we don't need a Pokemon from this cave, but I want to say there's at least an item or two we can grab. Although no flash. Although I guess it's kind of broken. Yeah, okay. Why is it like this? It's probably one of the scaling options or something. It's fine. There's a lot of crazy stuff we can get here, actually. Although I don't think... It's a Rock Smash Rock. That item's left behind Surf. Maybe there isn't an item here yet. Yeah, I think you can get, like, Larvatars and shit in here, which is kind of wild. Let me just, double check right quick. Yeah, no. Okay. We're good until Sprout Tower. Keep moving along. How are we on health? The thing with the apricorns is, like, I think it's a neat feature, but I'm also like, I prefer to capture my mons in, like, regular Pokeballs more often than not, especially for, like, actual team members. Because, first of all, that's, like, extremely feasible to do. And also, I just like the look of it better. It's kind of surprising you can't change that retroactively. In these games, it makes sense that a feature like that wasn't implemented, but, like, I wonder if that's a thing in Scarlet and Violet or whatever, if you can change that. Or even, like, why is there not even just a color selector for Pokeball colors? Like, is there not a way to, like, paint them or technologically change them or something? That I would be more interested in, because then I could kind of theme them around whatever Pokemon they are, and you can kind of do that with, the, like, you know, catching a Dark type or a Ghost type in a Dusk Ball, which makes sense because those are usually found at night or in caves. But Yeah, I don't know. 2 damage is crazy. I kind of like Surskit as a mon, but Masquerain... Maybe it's because Masquerain's usually garbage. But I think it's also just like, I'm not super wild about Masquerain's design. It's okay. It is yet again another flying bug. Like, there's something about Surskit that I like. It's just that it doesn't evolve into something that I think... Like, that could have been like Araquanid before Araquanid, honestly. I feel kind of bad not exchanging phone numbers with these trainers, but at the same time I'm like, it just gets annoying though. And like Professor Elm's gonna hound us once the egg hatches as well. Although I guess I could just box the egg, that's true. Oh, do you battle us here? I know you fight Lyra a couple times in this hack. Okay. Maybe, I think the first time is in Goldenrod. So I'll have to watch out for that later. We'll have a much better squad by then, though. Shard de Berry. Shard de Berry. Rhyhorn for a Gligar. I see, Gliscor I love. And I also think it's cool to use like something that is a missed opportunity with the vanilla versions of these games, I think, is I want to say a lot of evolutionary items aren't accessible until later. And that's the case in, I think, Diamond and Pearl certainly, but maybe Platinum probably to a lesser extent though. Because I know like Magmortar and stuff are in the regional decks in Platinum, I think, whereas in Diamond and Pearl they're not, weirdly. Diamond and Pearl really were another instance of Gen 2 isms in that way. Not so much with the level scaling, but with Pokemon availability at first. Thankfully Platinum exists, thank God. But what was I gonna say? We need Rock Smash for this. I usually just get this fat fuck to go over to the trainer school because I don't like the idea of him just standing here for all eternity. Alright, bye. I actually don't know if you can get anything from here. In vanilla, certainly not, I don't think. I totally lost what I was saying, though. I don't think there's anything in here. Oh yeah, I think it's cool. Okay. I think it's cool to use some of the Gen 4 evolutions on a Johto team, because this is a Gen 4 game set in Johto, so it's like, okay, you've got access to, like, you know, Weavile is an evolution of Sneasel, a Gen 2 Pokemon, and stuff like that. I think is really quite cool. I think I'm thinking of Ekritique, where there's one there. I don't think... Yeah, the blockade is further down. It's this guy. Wait up, what's the hurry? Have you gone to the Pokemon gym? You can test your Pokemon and yourself there. Can you at least pretend you're, like, examining footprints or something? Instead of just, like, somehow knowing that, I don't have my first gym badge. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that might be an indication of certain team members I plan to use. I don't really want to do this right now. I do think the Ruins of Alpha are cool. But I think it would be a matter of coming back. Yeah, I need Rock Smash. Yeah, a matter of coming back once I have Surf, I think, so I can just do it all in one go, maybe. Na-na-na-na-na-na. Sudo-do. Oh. But is this a gen where... Okay. This is a gen where you require a gym badge for an HM, which is not a thing in Gen 5. It's just that they don't give you the HM. They don't give you HMs until after whatever gym it probably would be required by, if that was a thing, but it's not. Already healed up, right? Yeah. Make a save real quick and then we'll head into Sprout Tower. This game's just so cozy to me. Like, I love me a, like, you know, a JRPG with a rich story and deep combat, and, like, not that Pokemon combat isn't... I know people always say Pokemon combat is simple, like, it is because the games don't demand much of you, usually. But there's more to it than just click super effective move. It's just, it's kind of hard. I feel like the depth of the Pokemon combat system comes from playing other players. More often than not, at least. Certainly it comes from at least playing some of these ROM hacks. But even then, you can, like, kind of get around things by knowing what the hell you're doing. Let's get second encounter first, before I start fighting trainers. Let's get our second squad member, if possible. Hopefully it has a good nature. It's not Rattata. Or Rattata, whatever. Rattata. No. It's not Bidoof. Oh, we're invisible. Okay. And it's dark again. Is there any way to, like, circumvent this? HGSS, Dismume, dark screen. Particle randomly gets a black screen. Main game graphics are missing, the screen is black. Using the latest version, delete your ini file and rerun the emulator. Quit using patched ROMs. Remove the anti-piracy patch from the ROM. Quit using cheats. Oh, that's right, because the Desmume devs at one point were fucking assholes. I don't mind saying that, because they were literally like... You know what the most popular DS games are? Pokemon games. You know what the most popular DS emulator is? I think it's Desmume, unless there's another one. But, that's right. I think I think Desmume has changed hands since then, I think. But there's literally a post from the FAQ that's posted on this Reddit thread. Why can't I play Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black, White? Why aren't they supported? We are not going to support these games. Don't waste time asking. It will only make us angry. If you can't make it work, then give up and go buy a cart. Like, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, actually. Imagine supporting the most popular games on the emulator that you built. Dude, I don't have enough words for this. It's, like, fucking heinous. What? There's one comment here, why are they so fucking salty? Which is, like, so fucking real, dude. I might look into this after this stream and just, like, see if there's a way to fix it besides soft resetting. I feel like I used to be able to fix it by, like, going into a menu and then quitting out. That doesn't seem to be working here for some reason. which is unfortunate. Maybe I'll try more. Next time it happens, I'll try more options. Zigzagoon. That's not it either. But I'm also sure that a lot of people were being annoying about it, but it's also like, dude, what do you think people use your emulator for? There's other DS games worth playing, don't get me wrong, but like y'all know how big Pokemon is, especially from this era. Are you kidding? And the number of ROM hacks out there and stuff like that. Gen 3 undoubtedly has more ROM hacks than Gen 4, but still. For your emulator to be causing issues, well, okay, it could be the ROM, I guess, but it is like people to be having consistent problems with your emulator with certain ROMs. It's like, that would be something to fix. But then again, it's being provided for free, so it is one of those things where it's like, I guess like somewhat understandable, but they don't have to be such, they didn't have to be such dicks about it. Like I just, it is funny how fucking salty they are in that frequently asked questions response or whatever. It's just like, dudes, what? Like, whatever. There might actually be a solution like disabling a certain option or something, but yeah. I wish I could get this encounter. I might just check real quick. I'm pretty sure it's available on all floors of Sprout Tower. I'm probably just not getting lucky enough to find it. Is it late enough to be nighttime? I think so. Isn't 6 p.m.? We're like well past that now, but it's like, you hear about the Nintendo? Yeah, I did. I did hear about the Nintendo Music ban. I noticed because I was listening to the Three Houses OST, and like I'm gonna use the Three Houses OST in my videos on it when I get around to doing that. And then I noticed that they got taken down, and then they got taken down again, and it's like, but dude, that shit is so fucking stupid. Like, they want their cake and they want to eat it too, and it's just like, no. I'm glad people are pushing back against it, but I think if you have Switch Online, don't you get it for free or something, or it's like bundled in? So like, there's undoubtedly people who are using it because they have Switch Online, which is unfortunate. But it just sounds like super lackluster as a service, and then also it's like, you know, you guys could also, or just could have instead posted your soundtracks on YouTube and, like, you know, got all the AdSense from that. In fact, if you had done this, imagine if they had done this like 10 years ago, and they had raked in all that ad revenue that instead, I guess they're technically getting it if it's copyrighted, if it's like claimed, which I'm assuming that most OST uploaders do get claimed, and they just accept that is like the fate of their channel, because that's like what they're there for. I would assume so. But it's like, what if they just officially uploaded it and just raked in the ad revenue from that? Because there are... It's the same thing where it's like, there are people who don't have Switch Online who aren't going to pay for it, who aren't going to pay for your stupid app, and that would like to listen to these songs. So it's like, I don't know, it's dumb. But as long as there are people who want to listen to Nintendo Music on a platform other than their garbage app, I don't even know if the app is garbage, but like, from what I understand, the selection is very limited, which is like, what's the point? And there's some other things like composer credits not being there, which is like weird, among probably other things, but I don't know. But yeah, as long as there are people who want to listen to it outside of that app, there are going to be re-uploads and re-uploads and re-uploads. Like, it won't stop. As much as they want it to stop, it's not going to stop. If the Nintendo higher-ups know who Barbara Streisand is, then they should look into that, because they're just doing it to themselves. How about let me buy... It's just like, there's so many reasons why, like, emulation and, like, listening... It's a separate... It's kind of a separate conversation, but it's kind of not. It kind of does fall into that, like, emulation conversation. But, like, I bought hard copies of these games when they released, so it's like... And then they're not selling them currently, so it's like... And also, even if they were, I don't really want to play vanilla, necessarily. It is nighttime in the game, right? Maybe that starts in 3 minutes? Maybe it's like evening, technically? HGSS time change? Or day-night cycle? Bulbapedia. I feel like maybe it is 8 p.m. Yeah, night lasts from 8 p.m. Okay, so we gotta give it 3 minutes. Unfortunate, I was a little too fast. Really hate that VDOL F is not a regular drop. Just need one, you're basically done with everything. Is that it for BN6? Do you need like a VDOL for a program advance? Or is that just like the most convenient code? We're just gonna wait out these next 2 minutes. You do? Oh, because you need 2 of them. I see. Well, wait. You can chip order it, though. If this is BN6, Space Cowboy, I'm assuming you got the first one from Undernet 0, the Blue Mystery data. And you can chip order a star code. Because, yeah, otherwise there's no other way to get a second one. Except from, I guess, the chip trader in Greentown, maybe. Yeah, because unless they changed it in BN 4, 5, and 6, you should be able to use star code to, like, replace a single program advance chip. Like, if you have Canon A and C, and then you have a Canon star, that'll fill the role of Canon B. I would definitely give it a shot, because you can chip order it, I guess, from Tab in a Central Town or whatever. Just 1 more minute. It was a megabyte, like a reg up. Undernet 0 is weird to navigate. I've got another minute, I can look this up real quick. Although... Undernet... 0. The VDOL F should be behind the tree. In Undernet 0. The reg up is behind the tornado, it looks like. It's the entrance from the tree, and that's where you went. And you didn't get the drop? Maybe it's incorrect. Maybe you... It should be there. Maybe if you were looking at the same map I was, maybe it's mislabeled. and you need to try like the water pillar or the tornado one as well. Or I guess just get, I don't know if you can use 2-star chips in a Program Advance and Battle Network. I kinda doubt it, because then you would just run like 3-star codes and you would get a PA. I don't think that makes sense. Because that according to Rockman EXE Zone, that is the only location to actually get a VDOL F and BN6. And then the second one could definitely be replaced by a star code that you can chip order. I'll have to keep that in mind once I get around to Battle Network 6 post-game. Which I'll probably do when I'm done with this playthrough. Because this game will probably take me a while. Like, it's not going to quite be 1 stream per badge for most of the run. And then once we get to Kanto, it's like, I feel like a lot of that can be knocked out pretty quickly. Because you can just do the gyms in any order and really as fast as you kind of want. This is not the ghost type we're looking for. Although I do think that Drifloon is kind of cool. There are a number of mons that I would like to use at some point, but I'm going to save that for like a Renegade Platinum playthrough. I don't really want to use Sinnoh. Like, I know Sinnoh mons are accessible here, and like there could be a reason to use them, but I'm like, I don't really want to use Sinnoh mons in a Johto run. It's certainly not for my first Johto run on the channel, at least. Obviously, in a Nuzlocke, you wouldn't have much of a choice, but it's like... Dude, where the hell is this thing? I just want my second team member so I can move on with my life. Bum 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 bum. Bruh. I was think Stunky's kind of cool. There's a lot of Gen 4 mons that I used to not like that much that have really grown on me. But I think I just kind of like poison types in general. Poison and dark types, so you know, Skuntank being a poison dark is a recipe for success with me. Can we not do this? Come on now. There we go. It's the boy. I think I just throw a ball, see what's up. Because I bet it lives in Ember, but I just want to see. Okay. Also, I was going to save it Nightshades, and that might be a little bit of a problem. You live in Ember? Do you? I think I'm going to throw one more ball. In fact, I mean, I could throw as many balls as possible and then just buy more. Let me try a few, and then we'll see. There's a Nightshade need to heal up, because that'll do 9 exactly. There we go. Nice. Now, what do I nickname Gengar? I feel like it's been a while since I've used a Gengar in-game. What do I name you? What to name Gengar? Also, part of the reason I'm using Gengar here is because it has Levitate still. That's like one... That was changed in Gen 7, I want to say. Maybe for good reason, but... Whether or not you think that or not, it's just like, it's nice to have a Gengar with Levitate, it just feels right. Gengar Nick. I'm not really like a big horror junkie. Like we could name it like Krueger or something. I feel like Freddy is a little bit too like tame. I don't hate Krueger necessarily, but like I don't love that phonetically necessarily either. Let me think what else. Like what's like a is there like a Resident Evil reference I could make maybe? There's not really specters in that. It's like all zombies and shit. I haven't played Silent Hill. I'm sure there's some spookies in there that could warrant a nickname. What about like an SMT reference maybe? Or just something that sounds cool. I feel like Shadow is just like too... Is Shadow too on the nose? We can always change it later, I guess. Kage? I don't know. It is the Shadow Pokemon, right? So maybe it's a little on the nose to call it Kage, but I don't hate it. Went to the wrong damn entrance. Okay, good. I'm glad that you at least didn't lose access to that chip, because otherwise you would have to get it through a trade. We'll just go Kage for now. I can always change it in wherever the name rater is. Rash Nature, not bad. Honestly, could be a lot worse. Plus special attack is pretty nice, although I need a better... This thing gets Ominous Wind. I looked at the level up changes. It will get Ominous Wind, because like obviously Nightshade does exactly the amount of damage your level is. Now, I feel like I should go buy more potions maybe. I feel like that would be good. And now we can actually progress. It's a good thing I'm streaming at nighttime, or like close to nighttime at least, so that way I only had to stand around for a few minutes. Instead of like, I guess I would just change my computer's clock real quick. Also, I really like the layout of these Pokemon centers. I like the asymmetry. I like the not having to do a loading screen to get up here for Union Room and stuff. Like the staircases and whatnot. It's nice. You can get the other gen starters, but I'm not planning to use them. I almost thought about throwing a Swampert on the team. Just because, like, I was looking for a Rock Resist, but I found another answer that I'll reveal later on. But yeah, it's lit. I think... Gotta watch out for Pursuit, of course. I also didn't buy potions like I said I was going to. Gotta watch out for Pursuit, but I think... Like, Bellsprouts don't get Pursuit, obviously, so it's like... Wait, does Victory Bell get Pursuit? I don't know what gets Pursuit. I do know... Well, I know some ones that get Pursuit, but I don't know what doesn't get Pursuit. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. But that'll be something to watch out for. I somehow have 14 of these. I guess I had more than 15 somehow. Okay, whatever. Antidote, 1. Yeah, it'd probably be worth it to buy a few of these, I guess. I think that should be fine for Sprout Tower. I'm not super concerned, and if I white out, I guess. I don't think that'll happen, though. Probably not. But you never know. I do wish I could buy Repels, though. That is one thing It's like, it's so uniquely Pokemon, because I feel like Pokemon is like so clear about where you can get encounters and where you can't, compared to a lot of other RPG series that came before, which I like the clarity, but it's also like, unless you are trying to catch them all, or unless you're looking for a specific mon, you don't really, or unless you're grinding, I guess, you don't really want random encounters. Like, they don't really add anything once you've caught what you want to catch. I mean, the opportunities for grinding, certainly, but then you have games where you have certain entries where you can rematch trainers, and so that becomes a non-issue. So it's like, it's a nice option, but it's also like, I don't feel like much is lost by spraying repels, really. Also, I like the animation when you have whatever mon is behind you will just like slide out because it's out of its Pokeball. Although I think if you're like riding your bike or something and it's put away, it will still return the normal way. It's like specifically if it's out in the field, the animation will be different. Oh, I guess the issue with this, maybe I should try to have Ghastly solo some stuff. I feel like Smokescreen Cheese is probably better than Leer, especially because these guys both are ultimately going to be special attackers. Okay, well, I guess Ralts would not be a good matchup for Ghastly anyway. Assuming it has anything. Goes for Growl. I'm going to try to switch it in here. I don't think you have Confusion at this point, and if you do, well played. We were minus special defense, so I think we die. Yep, fuck me. I'm bad. Would be the worst thing to get Cyndaquil to evolve, though, but it's gonna happen anyway. Before we're out of here. Even if I was switch training the entire time. That's the thing I like about this batch of starters, is that the evolution levels are not universal. And I guess in Gen 1 that's also the case, with like Venusaur evolving a little earlier, or Ivysaur rather evolving into Venusaur earlier. But in this gen, isn't it like, it's like 1436 for Cyndaquil line. Meganium line I don't know off the top of my head, because I just haven't really used it that much. I want to say it's 16 and then probably 32. And then for Alligator's 1830, I want to say. So I think that's kind of cool. Because then, of course, the next generation, they're all 1636. Alright. No revives yet, so we gotta go all the way back to the Pokemon Center because I made a bad call switching in a Poison type on a Psychic type. And in fact, when I was really young, before I actually knew the type matchups fully, I assumed that Ghost was weak to Psychic, and that it wasn't the Poison typing. Because, like, you know, Mischievous wasn't common, and then it was also, like, who... I guess by the time I reached Gen 3's Elite Four, it was clear, because Dusclops and Bayonet weren't taking super effective damage from psychic moves. But I feel like Gengar kind of messed with my perception of certain type matchups. It's the same thing with, like, Ground and Rock. Where, like, Ground is immune to Electric, not Rock type. And that those are, like, actually different types. But the issue is that a lot of early gen Rock types are also Ground type. Like, what was the first pure Rock type? Regirock? Was there one before that? I don't think so. It's just like how, there wasn't a pure Flying type for the longest time. I want to say Tornadus was probably the first one. It was Gen 5, obviously. I think... I mean, I resist both of its stabs. So I think I just have Ghastly 1v1 the mons that it can to maximize on experience gain. I'm obviously not going to get a Haunter for a while because it's like level 25. And I need a specific item to get Gengar. It's just unfortunate that we don't have interesting. That we don't have an actually special attacking ghost move right now. I can look up when it gets Ominous Wind. I think it's like in the teens. $15, yeah. So it gets Icy Wind by level up, which is interesting. This... I guess you're gonna go for a Psychic move, aren't you, you bastard? Alright, I'm gonna switch out. Goes for Reflect, okay. I like the option to play with mouse in battles. It's nice. I think that the way the touchscreen is implemented in, I feel like in this game especially, it's really nice. With like the menu items being available at all times. It's not like the fucking Poketch, which has minimal utility, if I'm being real. Or, I switch this... I feel like Ghastly's not going to take hits very well in a lot of cases, so I feel like I'm just going to weaken this at the very least. Oh my god, that does nothing. Which I like, of course. It's a tackle from a Quilava, but still though. Sir Bubbly. Gotta keep in mind this thing is weak as shit. I'm gonna switch this in. I like Poliwag a lot though. That's one of my favorite. The Poliwag line is one of my favorites from Gen 1. I almost actually considered throwing a Poliwrath on, because it has some buffs in this hack. I think it's like +5 or 10 to attack and defense. And it also gets Drain Punch. Poliwrath does specifically, which is pretty nice. Drain Punch's distribution in this gen was really weird. Back when it was a TM. Because I think it stopped being a TM after this gen, I want to say. X accuracy. And I guess against Falkner, like I was saying with flying types, not many pure flying types. As in, no pure flying types prior to Gen 5, I think. Meaning that Falkner's going to be just immune to our ghost moves anyway, so... Oh, it's Mareep. I'm kind of scared that I don't live a Thunder Shock because of the minus Spadef nature. And also, like I was just saying, Ghastly's not going to prove to be that useful against Falkner, probably. Maybe I can cast Spite, or if it gets Hypnosis or something, then maybe I can at least status something. But it's not really going to be able to deal damage, unfortunately. Hoot Hoot. I'm really gonna try to sleep me, because I'm just gonna take the damage here. Yeah, figures. Dude, I fucking hate sleep as a mechanic. Okay, thankfully it didn't sleep me again. Force Quick Attack in case of opposing Quick Attack, which I don't even know if Hoodoo gets that, but just, there's not a reason to not click quick attack there. Level 15. Level 15. So stupid. I'm weak. Collapses to his knees in the middle of the Sprout Tower parking lot. I don't even know where that meme originated from, but it is funny. But I've only ever really heard it said, I've not, like, actually seen. Maybe it is just a text meme, I don't fucking know. I'm just, like, so out of touch with that shit. Which is fine. I'd actually prefer it that way in a lot of cases. Bellsprout, we can get a kill with Ghastly here. Throw some shade at this Bellsprout. Your fit's whack. Like, I don't fucking know. So stupid. Does this kill? I'm kind of scared this doesn't kill and I don't want to die here. That'd be annoying. Razor Leaf comes out. We'll see if it kills. I feel like it might just be shy. Because there's no roll. Yeah, I knew it. Okay. Don't have to worry about Poison Point because we are Poison type. That is one status immunity they got right pretty much from the jump. Curse might not be bad. This is one of those strats where you can't use this in a Nuzlocke. Not on a Ghost type, at least. I mean, I guess you can, but yeah, I feel like Spite is... I feel like Mean Look would be the only thing, because at this point it would be Ghastly trapped in with them, not the other way around. I guess I can get a guaranteed switch on a potential double, but I don't even know if the AI is capable of double switching. Or like what scenario that would actually play out. So I feel like I cut Mean Look. Because Lick actually does damage and has a para chance. Spite's probably worse. Well, it only cuts 4 PP. A lot of moves this early on are going to be high PP, so -4 is not really going to be that great. Anyway, I could Mean Look. If it can't touch me for whatever reason, which I doubt, I can Mean Look Spite. But, like, I'm going to get rid of Spite. Like I was saying, at least with Mean Look, I can lock something in and then get a free switch into Quilava, potentially. But more than likely, it'll be like cursing Faulkner's Last Mon or something, if possible. Which makes me glad this is minus Spidef and not minus BizDef. Assuming his Pidgeotto doesn't have like something crazy like Air Slash or something. Which, I mean, it might. I don't think that, or Air Cutter maybe, because we have seen Air Cutter. So yeah, I guess that is a possibility. Ghastly's pretty fast though. I mean, okay, maybe not. I think Haunter's base 105, right? Or something, like Haunter's like, or maybe it's 95. I don't remember. I'm gonna look this up real quick while the battle loads in. That's the good thing about streaming these games, is that I can like do other... I can like sort of multitask when that's relevant. You might have confusion, and I'm a little scared of that. Although, there's also a water type. We're kind of not in a great spot here, team comp-wise, for now. I think I just Ember. I know it's not very effective, but like, I think that's actually going to do more, and I get the burn. Which is very lucky, actually. Let's see here. Ghastly is base 80 speed. Haunter is 95. Okay, not 105. That makes more sense. You go for water move here. I think... Is this... In this gen, tackle is 50, right? Base 50, Also, wait, tackle doesn't miss, so that Rattata... That Rattata from Youngster Joey did have hustle. I think. Had to have been something like that. That did a lot, wow. I'm pretty sure we lived this. I'd be surprised if we didn't. 4-level advantage, and it's a fucking Psyduck. I don't know how I feel about Tackle's nerf. I think, didn't that happen from... I feel like that happened in Gen 6. Maybe it was Gen 5. Let me see. Tackle. Wikipedia. Because then, Quick Attack is just a strict upgrade. There's no trade-off. Whereas, in normal circumstances, or like in this game, do you want like lower power but with priority, or do you want something a little higher power but no priority? Because as soon as Tackle gets nerfed to, Gen 5 and 6, power was increased from... Oh, it used to be 35. Interesting. So, yeah, I guess Gen 5 was out by this point. So they implemented the Gen 5 change to 50 base power, and its accuracy went from 95 to 100. And then, yeah, Gen 7, in fact, it gets nerfed to 40. So in hacks that implement Gen 7 type mechanics... Or type mechanics, move changes and whatnot. That actually makes sense. That, like, Renegade Platinum would have had that. Leech Seed. Cool. So this way I have an excuse to switch out into Ghastly. Even though I could kill this, Bulbasaur if he Leech Seeds twice, he's the GOAT. But... I don't see a reason to do that. Yeah, get played, kid. It's like talking shit to the AI. Nightshade, I don't know if it kills, but it'll 2 a KO for sure. Kills, okay. Nice, Pele gets to level 16. I guess I'm running low on potions. This upcoming battle might be a little... nasty. I think I just potion once, and then potion after the next battle. Probably should have stocked up more. We'll see. I'm gonna pull this tab over here. Yeah, drag this over here. Okay. Yeah, this is a problem, because normally Abra does not have confusion at this point, but it definitely is going to have it here. There's no way that they would throw an Abra at me in a hack like this with just teleport. Unless... Ghastly should get the level up here regardless. Maybe it does just have teleport. Maybe it's a fake out. Hey, it worked. I mean, it scared out Ghastly, so. Goes in a Hoot Hoot. Ember should be a 2 a KO. Oh, not quite. I think the previous one was like level 10 or 11. That explains it. We can Ember again. I'm a little scared to, I'm a little scared to switch Ghastly in on an Air Cutter that might kill it. Especially because it's not, like, on the threshold of, leveling up. And plus, Quilava seems to be tanking these Air Cutters pretty respectably. Like, that was a crit. Bruh. Looks like I'm gonna be using all of my potions anyway. Okay, that was probably a risk not worth taking. I should have potioned. Because if it crit again, then I would have died, and that would have had me having to go all the way back to heal up. Hop-Hip is really fast. Like, I don't know if I should be scared of this knocking me out at 10. No, I guess not. Hopefully this one-shots. There is, like, some kind of fly or maybe, like, small mosquito or something in my room somehow. I think it followed me in from work, but... I just Ember this. Scramble some eggs. Level 17. Love to see it. Alright, perfect. So I can perfectly heal my team. I don't believe this hack implemented a rival fight here. If it did, then I'll see you guys in see you guys after I go white out and heal. Maybe not necessarily to the rival, but I don't think you fight him here, even in this hack. You definitely don't in vanilla. I hate feeling like I have to qualify that. Like, qualify my knowledge of this game in vanilla, but whatever. Oh, that's right. Okay, you get your pick of an elemental stone for the EV that was given, which is kind of cool. You just an escape rope teleports out of here. Escape rope. Spend, I swear to God, if you click dark move and kill me here. Just let me fucking run, dude. Okay, thank God. We'll save. I don't want to soft reset on a loss necessarily, because it's whatever. But it's also like getting back up here is kind of a pain in the ass. Thankfully, it's a boss fight and we're leaving after this, so I don't really care if Ghastly gets knocked out. We'll see what kind of work he can put in before Quilava comes in, unless he leads with a normal type, which he doesn't. We can actually solo this. Quilava would handle it better, but I can, like, preserve its HP a little bit more, which is nice. Is Nightshade or Lick better? I almost feel like trying to para... Oh, it does, like, so much less. Growth. What could you possibly click, though? Sludge? Or, like... You wouldn't have, like, Mega Drain. Cut. Okay, nice. Growth, special attack boost into Cut. Beautiful plays from the opponent here. I guess the Lick Chip was what I needed to 3 KO with Nightshade, but... Maybe it would have still 3 KO'd anyway. It might have. I don't have any potions left, so I just gotta kinda do whatever I can. It goes into Chingling. Is it worth it to switch here? I don't know if I'm faster. I don't know how fast Chingling is off the top of my head. But if I switch out, Quilava takes a Confusion, likely, which it should be able to take, oh my god. It should be able to take it pretty respectably. Like, it's pretty bulky because it's a second phase mon, or second stage mon. I kind of want to... I don't know if cursing this is necessarily worth it if I'm faster, but I'm going to die anyway, so I'd rather just go for the curse. If it goes for Uproar or something stupid, then I guess I got played, but... It goes for Flash. Okay, I mean, that's fine. Makes Quilava's job easier. Sorta. Fortunately, we only have 9 embers, so I'm a little... Maybe it doesn't have Psychic move. Maybe I should have saved... That doesn't do enough. Yeah, the curse actually helps because Ember wasn't going to kill. We are in fact faster. This is 100% accurate, so we go for that. A quick attack probably kills, but I just was like... The quick attack undoubtedly kills, but I just want to be careful. Hoot Hoot, you're gonna be an asshole and hypnosis me, aren't you? God, that does nothing. Agility? I'm a little bit scared, actually. Like, I can take multiple hits, but if you... Okay, goes for Aerial Ace. Ember into quick attack kills. Thank you for critting me, you fucking ass. Alright, see if I can clutch this out. Cherubi is his last. Okay, I was scared of like a Noctowl or something. I think we're okay. Okay. Magical Leaf, it's a resist. It is a decently strong move, but yeah, even a crit wouldn't have done enough. We just Ember again because we're faster. Alright, cool. Sick. We make it through. Okay. The curse actually kind of helped out there. Weirdly. I think I still would have lived after one... Well, I'd have to check how much Uproar did. Do I have a Stone Evolution on here? Let me check if anything was changed. Evolution-wise, Pokemon changes... Or no, these aren't stones, I think. I think... In this hack, I think... They changed, evolution changes. Here we go. There's a specific doc for this. Yeah, it's like it's not like a Moonstone or a Duskstone for Umbreon, or like a Dawnstone or a Sunstone for Espeon. It's like unique items that were thrown in here, orbs and whatnot. Yeah, so in that case, I do need certain items for some of my later team members. Actually, for pretty much all of them, except for these first two. Literally for all of them. But, nothing that I can get from here. So, in that case, I'm just gonna take a Water Stone in case... This way I can teach it Surf in order to get my actual Surfmon without having to catch something else. So I'll have a Water type that can get me to my actual Water type. Which I guess Feraligatr could also have done. But then I'm running 2 Water types on the same team, and I'm just like, Time to tackle the first gym after a heal up. I feel like all things considered, the pacing of which I'm going to acquire my team members is not terribly quick. It's like about 1 per badge up until Chuck. So, could be worse. I think that's the thing that I appreciate about SMT games, is that, like, well, I guess SMT 5 is a little bit different, because you have tools to, like, keep certain demons around for longer than they otherwise would last. But if you look at, like, Nocturne or something, you're so heavily incentivized to swap out your team, like, constantly. So there never is really, like, maybe until, like, late game, post game stuff, there's not really, like, a final build, per se. Especially definitely not one that you can get that early. I'm gonna switch train up Ghastly against these trainers. Try to get a Ominous Wind. Because Ominous Wind, especially with the rash nature, is gonna be better than Nightshade against, like, pretty much anything. For, like, the duration of the game. I can't touch this. Yeah, whatever. Switch out. Leers me. Wait, Ember. Wow, we're actually one-shotting stuff now, finally. I guess I gotta consider Hoot Hoot. The Hoot Hoot line actually has good Spit F. Or, like, Noctowl has solid Spit F, from what I know, and it might have been buffed in this hack, even. I was a little perturbed at how little Ember was seeming to do against those Hoot Hoots. Goes for Gustaruni. Tank that easily. Sand attack. Yeah, there is something about the early battles in Pokemon games that I like. Obviously, it's not as, like, explosive and crazy as, like, when you're dealing with fully evolved Mons versus fully evolved Mons. But there is something about, like, Quilava versus Pidgeotto that I think is kind of cool. In, like, Faulkner's case. Or, like, when Scyther can come out and be a threat. Which, granted, Scizor has the same BST, it's just distributed differently, and, you know, Scizor has a better defensive typing, of course. Much better defensive typing, in fact, but, in most cases, especially pre-Gen 5, with, like, not having a Violite as a held item, Scyther is not going to be a threat outside of, like, the early game. So I think that's cool that that is Bugsy's ace. Goes for Growl. Granted, a lot of these regular trainer fights in the early game, it's like, you know, they're clicking Growl and shit, so it's like, that's not particularly interesting, but I feel like the early game boss fights, there's just, like, something to it that I like. You're not gonna get a level up from this, but I'm gonna probably go back and heal before Faulkner anyway. Okay, you miss anyhow. I'm just getting Nightshade. I don't think this will one-shot me. Goes for Growl, okay. That's perfectly fine. Not even, like, Water Gun? I don't understand. You're gonna have Psychic Move. I sense it. It is not like the Abra situation where I just click Teleport 3 times or whatever. Goes for Air Cutter. Still would have been kind of risky with the minus Spit F and all of that. It is cool seeing Natu this early, though. This is another Mon that's, like, not easy to find in vanilla. Zubit. Okay, I'll switch. Crobat was another Mon that I considered using because I actually really like Crobat. There just hasn't been a great opportunity to slot it on a team. Maybe in a future Black and White 2 playthrough, because I like the way that Crobat looks in that game, especially. Because it's the thing with Gen 4 also is, like, some of the back sprites are just not they're still, like, not great. Like, Croat, for instance, like, he literally just has his wing up. Like, I think that's all you see. Which is, like, come on. Like, you couldn't at least, like, show, like, both of his wings or something? It's odd. Can we not do this? This is just fucking classic. And I didn't buy more potions, right? Yeah, okay. You're gonna break out this time, right? I love Pokemon. Definitely no problems with this bullshit. It's so fucking annoying. I see the bug flying around. I'm gonna try to... If I see an opportunity to kill it, I'm going to. Alright, somehow we luck out. See, what's annoying about that is not that I would lose and, like, lose money and have to go back to the Pokemon Center. I don't want to gain more experience than I have to. And the fact that you could, hypothetically, like, infinite farm, because you don't game over and have to reload a save, because you just go back to the Pokemon Center and continue, if you killed 5 out of 6 Mons on an opposing trainer, you get that experience, you come back, it's nice in a sense, because you come back stronger, but it's like, what if I just want to reattempt it, though, straight up? I think that's a case for soft resetting in that case. Obviously in a Nuzlocke it's different, but if you white out, then you're just done anyway, so... We'll just pick this up so she'll stop calling. Find a useful item, that's fine. I forget that's how it works in this game. Where you actually get, like... You actually get useful items. It's not, like, just decorations for your room that you don't have a reason to be in ever. But I think it'll be good to, play through this even if Aurora Crystal drops sooner than later. So I have a closer frame of reference. Like, I have a reference point that isn't, like, years in the past. I do think these invisible panels are cool. Now, you won't be able to touch any of the birds. The problem is switching this in is also going to be tricky. So I wonder if I still just lead it. I don't know if Faulkner's going to have 6 Mons or not, also. I feel like he might, so... Oh wait, I should buy potions, though. I forgot. Super Podion, okay. It's helpful. It's very helpful, in fact. I feel like 5 is probably plenty. If I'm using more than that, I'm probably gonna lose anyway. I don't think I have to worry about this so much. Quick Ball. Even if there were X items, I've never been a fan of X items, personally. I don't even know if I've ever used an X item straight up. Like, maybe when I was younger, but once I figured out actually what they do, like when I learned what stat changes were and all of that, like, I've certainly not used one since then. I just think they're kind of cheesy. But I'll use potions. Especially because the bosses use potions. Especially because it's, like, potentially 6v2. Again, another case for, hey, let's, like, bring 6, pick 3 for gym battles or something. It should be more dynamic than that, maybe. Whereas, like, even if it's like, oh, you only have 2 Mons, I feel like maybe it should... I don't know, I'm, like, kind of torn. Maybe, like, the first gym can be like, oh, you only have 2 Mons and it'll be 2v2. But then, like, doing a 1v1 against something you trained up a lot, like, that would be a way to, like, kind of cheese it. So I feel like it would be better to be like, oh, I'm gonna bring 3 Mons or 4 Mons. You can bring up to that many. If you want to bring fewer, you can. That should definitely be an option. It shouldn't force you to bring 3 if you don't have 3 Mons on your squad yet. I really like that idea. It'll never be implemented to that extent, though. Maybe, at the bare minimum, it'll be like, I have 3 Mons, you must bring 3 Mons. But, like, God, there's so many other layers to that mechanic that you could implement that make it so much more interesting. Whatever. I'm Faulkner, the Violet City Pokemon Gym Leader. People say you can clip flying-type Pokemon's wings with a jolt of electricity. I won't allow such insults to bird Pokemon. Okay. I'll show you the real power of the magnificent bird Pokemon. You said bird Pokemon twice. I like Faulkner's design here, though. I like all the Gym Leader redesigns. They look sick. You get Pursuit, so I'm a little scared. You also have 6 Mons, all of which I probably can't touch with Ghastly. I could... I can actually curse multiple times, assuming I don't die here. Goes for Growl. If it has Pursuit, does it click it here? I guess it'd be better to Potion then. To, like, not risk it, because he loses 25%. I don't want to, like... This is why I only bought 5 potions, or part of it. I don't want to Potion stall or, like, whatever. But I'm, like, gonna do what I can to win. There should probably be a limitation on how many items you can use in battle as well. Of course, there's hardcore Nuzlocking rules, I can't speak. That, you know, the player can utilize. Also, this thing has an odd HP number, which is interesting. Wonder if that's intentional, or if that's just like a RNG thing. I don't know if Quick Attack kills, so I think I just Ember. We're faster. Just super nice. Boom, 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 boom. Pidgeotto, he brings out his ace. I like the little flourish there. I guess I just duke it out with Embers. If I burn it... That did a lot, okay. What spawn are you looking for? Oh, base spawn. Okay, I missed your note. Yeah, dude, getting base to spawn in is a pain in the ass. Consistently. Can I get a burn? Just 13. Do I Super Potion here? Or do I Potion once? If I Potion once, I get to 23. He does 13. He brings me down to 10. I'm gonna Potion once to try to maximize the Super Potion turn. But then again, oh, I guess if he roosts here randomly, or if he tackles, okay. This puts me in a similar position. I just Ember. Still praying for a burn would be huge. Goes for Roost. Also, I just had a thought. Maybe unpopular opinion. What if critical hits couldn't happen unless you had a stat buff? Because that's what they're there for, is for breaking through defense, like iron defense and shit like that. Because otherwise it's just impossible to win at that point once a mon is set up. Speak of the devil. But I'm like... I don't know, I just think critical hits suck ass. I don't like them. I feel like they work in a game like in a Fire Emblem game, I feel like they work a little bit better. They're still shitty, but you also like see the odds, and the odds differ depending on stats. Whereas in Pokemon, it's just like a, at least past Gen 1, it's like a blanket percentage that, you know, increases based on focus energy or scope lens or using moves that have a high crit chance. Or like Super Luck, I think. Yeah, Super Luck Because Sniper's the one that increases crit damage. This is really annoying. A burn would really help me here. I'm gonna lose this 1v1. I can't even smoke screen him because he has Aerial Ace and that bypasses accuracy checks. Maybe I should have cursed. But I can't switch. I can't reliably switch in Ghastly though. Fuck. Alright, he goes for Roost. Can I fucking burn, please? I know I'm asking for, like, what is it, a 10% chance, but it's like, I've clicked this 10 times now, so in theory, I thought it was gonna happen. Maybe I can, he's not gonna click Roost here, though, which is really shitty. Oh, no, he is. Okay. That's fine. If I can get him to keep clicking Roost, I can probably win this, maybe. No, he clicks Aerial Ace because of course he does. And of course I'm not getting the burn. And of course I die this next turn, so whether or not he clicks Roost again... Alright, we kill it. This is my thing, is like... it makes sense to give them 6 mons, I guess, but I'm also like, isn't that a bit overkill? I'd rather have it be like a 3v3 with their mons being higher level than face like a bunch of low level, than face 6 low level mons. There's nothing I can do here. I have no more healing items, so I have to attack and pray that it like kills. But I don't think it one-shots. Yeah, no. Do I live this? That'd be great. Of course not. Ghastly walls forever, but I don't have a way to fucking touch this thing. So yeah, I don't even have any healing items, and so I'm fucked. Great. That's fucking great. I have to curse. There's nothing I can do, I just lose. Yeah. And like I was saying, like, the money that it takes from me here, 152, that makes no difference. It's not a Nuzlocke, so it's not over. And therefore, it's actually more detrimental to me to soft reset here, which I'm going to do, because I saved. I'm 90% sure that I saved right in front of Falconer. If I didn't, I'll be upset. But it's just a matter of, like... I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'd already fought the trainers. Because Ghastly wasn't level 15 before. So I guess in this case, I just need to burn. Or I need to bring more potions. Because that's, the Pidgeotto's a problem if you don't status it. And I can't lick Para because it's immune to lick. How many potions can I get? Maybe I just, like, buy as many as possible. I'm okay on Pokeballs, I think. And I'll get more money for, beating the gym anyhow. This is a downside to, team building in this way. Like, where you know what you want to use already, and that's, like, all you use. Because, like, a Mareep here would obviously be, insane. But I don't like that being, like, one of the only solutions, really. Not that it literally is. Because you can make do with, you know, a Croconaw or, Balava in this case or whatever, but... I think it makes sense to have Mons in the surrounding area that can help. But more so when there are, like, more options. I'm just gonna go hard into this, because I don't think Curse really helped that much. In which case, maybe I should have just led with this, but it doesn't matter. The attack drop doesn't... Yeah, okay. We one-shot Doduo. The only thing that changed was at a -1 attack, but that shouldn't matter. Alright, he goes into his Pidgeotto. The 1v1... I'm 3 levels higher. Smokescreen does nothing, like I was saying. I have to Ember Burn. Or maybe not have to, but it would definitely guarantee winning the 1v1 here. Because I forget how much PP Roost has. I think it's 10 by default. Has an Oranberry. I don't know if they're PP maxed. If it's 16 instead of 10. Maybe Roost is... No, I'm pretty sure Roost is 10 normally. Okay. And then he's going to Aerial Ace this turn. Yeah, I talked about it a lot before in previous playthroughs. But there are, like... Dude, serious? There are some inherent limitations with like 6v6 singles gameplay in-game, which is kind of what I was getting at earlier. You had Mudslap this whole time and you weren't clicking it. Okay, I do have a Levitator in the back. I think I just go for the Ember here, because yeah, he certainly goes for Roost. And 1 accuracy debuff is not the worst thing ever. God, this is so annoying. Going into Gaslight and Cursing is probably... Okay, of course I miss. I can go for 1 more. The first ever Water Veil Pidgeotto. Goes for Ace again. Potion again. Yeah, there's just some inherent limitations with this battle system. I do still like it. I enjoy doing these playthroughs, but it's like, yeah, I feel like something is... I don't know if something is... I don't know that something is lost in the single-player facet of this combat system, but more so I think something is gained in the PvP component. Goes for Roost again, like a little bitch. Thankfully I have enough potions to like actually break through this. Still no burn, which is like, I know it's 10%, but still though. This for tackle. That did a lot. What? I guess base 50 versus base 60 Aerial Ace, so it's not terribly surprising. There's another Roost. When you click a move 25 times over the course of two battles and don't get a 10% proc. There's 2 KOs. If he doesn't Roost here, he dies. Okay, he does Roost. God. I hate it because I know I can 1v1 this if I burn. And I'm gonna run out of embers, which is really fucking shitty. I don't know if Ember kills. I feel like it's just shy of it. Okay, it does. It's really fucking annoying. Okay. Maybe hard Ghastly immediately against that is actually, like, better. If he goes for Uproar, I go Ghastly, and then heal this up while it's in the back, I think. Okay. I don't know how many turns this can go on for. Is it like 2 to 5, maybe? Or does it just end when it misses? That's dumb. If you're gonna click a shit-ass move like Uproar, then you should be appropriately punished for it. I'm gonna get you to, like, actually full here. Am I faster? This thing really can't do much besides Curse, so I guess I'll just attempt it. Doesn't make sense to go, Lava there. Ideally Ember 2 KOs. I really hate that I, like, burned through, pun unintended, like, all of my Embers against that shit-ass Pidgeotto that kept spamming Roost and not getting burned. Farfetch'd. You're a fighting type here. I'm a little scared of you. But I feel like if I heal, you're just gonna deal that much damage back to me. Okay. This should 2 a KO. Good. We're not Blaze, so we don't get that fire type increase. Flame Wheel. Alright, amazing. I think I keep Ember for the special attacking side, but I feel like I could just get rid of Tackle. This thing's not much of a... I mean, I think Quilava's more of a mixed attacker, so it wouldn't be the worst thing to have both, but I think the option to accuracy drop cheese is nice in the early game. But then again, Bugsy is going to get melted by this, so I probably won't even have much of an opportunity. Maybe against Whitney. It might not be bad against Whitney. Smokescreen, that is. Because rollout is, what, 90% accurate, I think. I think I just get rid of Tackle. I think the priority is nice, because Typhlosion's move pool is, like, not the greatest. It might get Earth Power or something in this hack. But, yeah, I feel like I have to heal here. Okay, cool. I potion for free again then. I also hate... I hate the sentiment that using potions can't be strategic either. Like, it's definitely cheese. Definitely is. But there are optimal times to potion, optimal times to not. Is this 60 base power? I feel like this might actually do more because of the base power difference, but yeah, I feel like, wow, that's actually crazy. Now Ember kills, for sure. Murkrow. Boo-wee-oo. The wind is finally with us. If this doesn't one-shot, it gets picked off by Quick Attack, likely. Yeah, goodbye. That's one upside to only running 2 Mons, is that they're going to be higher level on average than if I came in here with 6 mons without grinding. It's lit. A little less breezy than the title implies. But I did it. Got through it. Ooh, Roost. I know Roost in a playthrough where you're going to use items in battle is potentially not like the greatest. It's still not a bad option. Especially if you don't have healing items that can heal 50%. That's probably not going to be the case for very long, though. I only say that because we are going to grab a bird type. But not until a little bit later. Go ahead and heal up. How long have I been going for here? How long has the stream been? I can go a little bit further, I think. Maybe good to press on. At least a tad. I'm gonna close out this, though. Like, there's no way we get to Bugsy today, but certainly can probably make it to the next Pokemon Center, I think, would be a good stopping point. So I have to grab this egg. I'm just gonna box it so I don't have to deal with Professor Elm hounding me about the Togepi. Although knowing these hacks, it's probably close to hatching. So I could just run back now if it hatches before I can get to the PC. Let's see. It appears to move occasionally. Okay. So that's like medium, I think. First kimono girl spotted. Nice. That's definitely a change in the hack, I want to say. Because normally you get those in post-game to rematch the gym leaders in the fighting dojo, which I think is sick. It's kind of a pain in the ass because, like, they're in certain spots at certain times of day and, like, days of the week, and then they only rematch you, or only show up to the dojo initially at certain times of the day and days of the week. You can, if you call them there, I think they stay there until you fight them. But, I don't know, it's a cool feature that kind of gives the world some life to it, but from a practical standpoint, as far as rematching, it's not, like, the most practical. I remember when I was a kid, when I was, like, still in high school or whatever, there were just, like, certain times and days that I just simply could not do because of, like, school or extracurriculars or whatever. I mean, I'm certain that, like, over some break, like, over the summer, at some point, I was able to get all the numbers, but I'm sure I know that I like reset my save so many times anyway, so it's not like that was ever going to stick around for forever, you know. Oh, do you battle? No, okay. I almost said the Circle Mead. The Miracle Seed. No grass types on the squad, so not particularly useful. Also, these trainers were moved, but I feel like I guess they are moved in such a way that you have no choice but to fight them, but you can at least decide if you want to single battle them or double battle. And I think that's a nice compromise. You're a... Oh, you give me the TM for Roar. Wouldn't be terrible against, like, setup sweepers. This team is gonna be pretty offensive, though, so, like, I don't... I don't know how practical that actually is. I don't know if TMs were made unlimited in this hack or not. I guess I could save, test it, and then... Yeah, I don't hate the idea of running Roar. But Bugsy's the next gym, so it's like... I'd rather just click Fire move, I think. Now... Double or single battle? I think... The possibility that Ghastly is walled is pretty high. So I think I'm in a single battle. I think so. Also, I wonder... Pokemon changes... Yeah, Ghastly... Does Ghastly get, like, Sludge by level up? I don't think... Maybe it does. I'm just like, do you get Poison Stab in Gen 4? No. It doesn't. It's so weird. Obviously TM36 is going to go to Gengar. No questions asked. And assuming it's in the same spot, I feel like that'll be an appropriate place to acquire such a powerful move. Gets Shadow Ball by level up. Although, of course, we will get the TM for that from Morty, assuming it wasn't changed, but by then I think we're going to be high enough level to have that anyway. Probably. Well, okay, I guess I would probably evolve it into Haunter at 25, and then gets it at 33 as a Haunter, versus, what's it, like 28? 29 is Ghastly. Maybe I keep Ghastly a Ghastly until 29, potentially. Depends on... Well, we'll see. We'll see. It's a little risky to stay in here. I feel like I lose the 1v1 because the minus Spadef nature. But then again, Ominous Wind might just one-shot. I don't mind running back to the Pokemon Center. I just want to see. I want to see how much this does. Does it kill? Oh, it does. Oh, we crit. Okay. We'll never know. I kind of doubt that it would have one-shotted, but it didn't matter anyway. Because we crit. Do I need to buy more potions? No, we're okay. Yeah, I'll just use one, fuck it. I should've just ran down one. It's Wooper. This was another option. But it's another... I mean, I know Quagsire is more of a defensive mon than offensive, obviously. Although it does have higher attack in this hack, by like 10, I think. But it's more of a physical attacker, so once again, it's like, yeah, you could run Surf on it. It's like base 65 attack, I think. So obviously not great, but not like too far off from its attack usually. Well, kind of. And I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing to run Surf on for Alligator temporarily, but it's like, it's just one of those things. That might be part of... It's definitely a factor as to why I like Gen 7 so much, because I can run like a physical water type. Like, you know, a Racoonid or Poliwrath or, you know, any other physical water type, and not have to worry about, oh, I don't have a Pokemon that can learn Surf and use it reliably. Even though there's like a ton of water routes where you need Surf to traverse. But whatever. There's Ominous Wind again, I guess. Pray for the boost. Or just one-shot, sick. Maybe it would have one-shot Drifloon, actually. It might have. Drifloon's probably bulkier than Onix on the special side, though, to be fair. Now this is the thing where I kind of want to go back and heal for the sake of restoring my uses of Ominous Wind. So I'm gonna go do that. Yeah. I feel like I know this game so well that I have a tendency to go on autopilot, I think, when it comes to, and I don't really mind it. This is one of those games where like I don't really mind having played it so much. Sometimes if you play the game too much and you try to go back to it, it does. It can, I should say, detract from the experience, depending. But it does really depend, ultimately. I guess while I'm doing like some less interesting stuff, I can talk a little bit about what I've been playing. The Monster Hunter Wilds beta was pretty cool. The performance on PC is a little questionable. And I know a lot of people were having... Oh my god. First step. A lot of people were having issues as well. So I know it's not my rig, necessarily. I mean, it's a 2020 rig. But at the same time, it's like... I shouldn't have to run it. I'm not too butthurt about it, because I just want to play Monster Hunter. I'm like in that spot where like I mostly skipped... I played Rise on Switch, but I skipped out on the re-release on PC, and I skipped it on Sunbreak, purposefully to like starve myself of Monster Hunter, so that way when Wilds dropped, I'd be like all over it. Because I'm ready. I'm gonna dump hundreds of hours into that game, I'm sure, throughout its life. I guess like the unfortunate thing is I got it to run like fairly stable at like 60. Maybe it would go like at lowest like mid 50s, but it was not as bad as when I streamed it. But I was running it at 1080p on a 1440p monitor. I didn't think it looked that bad personally, but it's definitely an optimization thing. I had read something about, I don't know how true this is. I had read something about it being a game that like overloads one core instead of using multiple CPU cores. And it's like very CPU intensive as well. And my CPU is not like, it's a powerful CPU, like all things considered, but again, it is like a 2020, I think it came out in 2020. It's the 5000 series for AMD. But like, there's no way it gets worse before launch. If anything, it'll be just as bad optimization-wise, in which case I feel like I could actually tolerate it, which I hate to say that because I don't want to like support, on one hand I don't want to support poorly optimized PC ports, but at the same time there's been much worse. And I also just want to play Monster Hunter, so it's like I might just bite the bullet and deal with it. I also don't really buy a lot of new releases on launch, so I'm like too excited for cross-platform play with my friends over on PlayStation. So it's like, I really don't want to miss out on that. Like, this is a rare case where it's like a somewhat multiplayer-centric game that I'm actually like interested in because it's Monster Hunter. That I would maybe be willing to tolerate some compromises on the like graphical settings and shit. Of course, I obviously prefer if that gets fixed by launch, but there's no guarantees. I only have 2 Ominous Winds, so I kind of want to just switch out. But I'm also a little nervous about poison here. I have antidotes though, so I'm fine. Booster focus. I think I Ember twice, and if Ember doesn't 2 a KO, I just Flame Wheel. Oh, it nearly one-shots. I fucking knew it. I went for Ember to specifically avoid Poison Point, and then I got poisoned from Sting. Are you Arena Trap? No. Alright, well. Get murked. Oh. I got murked. Shit. Doesn't do enough for it to really be much of a threat, though. But I guess it's just gonna keep clicking it, though. It is weird it wouldn't go for ground move. Assuming it has one, obviously. Which makes me question if the AI is, like, reading inputs. Oh my god, this thing is so strong. Ominous Wind still base 60, right? Yeah. Wow. In fact, maybe I do, considering Ghastly's already level 18, maybe I do keep it as a Ghastly until it learns Shadow Ball a little bit earlier. I don't know that there's, like, another Mon that would want to learn Shadow Ball by TM on the squad. Where is that tab? Yeah, not really. There is another member that can learn it, but there's not really much of a reason for it to, and, like, as much as it'd be cool for Typhlosion to have Shadow Ball, it doesn't really make sense in this context. It does get Thunder Punch and Earth Power by level up, though, which is interesting. Obviously, Thunder Punch a callback to Gen 2 when it was a TM, and Typhlosion could learn it. And it was a special move because it was pre-physical special split, so it was actually good on Typh. Now it's less good, but it's also like, well, it's kind of a compromise, like using a physical move on a special attacking Mon. Because, like, if you give it Thunderbolt, it'd be like, come on. Like, there's no reason for Typhlosion to learn Thunderbolt or something. Thunder Punch makes sense. And, like, I would actually... Typhlosion's move pool is, like, so bad that I would actually consider running Thunder Punch. At least for, like, ×4 Mons. Like, Pelipper, I guess, would be the... I think, is it raining? Oh, voice crack there. I think it's raining outside. That's what it sounds like, at least. But, what's it called? Because Electric's only strong against water and flying. The only ×4 Mons would be water flying. Do you like water-type Pokemon? No. What, is he a battle? Did I miss a battle in previous Pokemon Centers? Oh no, he gives you the rod. That's right. Or no, Water Pulse, which nothing can learn. If I was running Vaporeon as my water type, which I'm not, then that could be an option there. No item here, really. Slowpoke Tails. $1 million is like the Dr. Evil thing. Most of the people watching this probably don't know what Austin Powers is. Which, granted, I was too young for it, as well. But I have seen the first one. Yeah, I don't think there's any items here, just battles. Might as well soak up that EXP, I guess. I wonder if I'm going to end up being over-leveled or not, because I kind of was for Faulkner, but then again, it was 6v2. I guess a slightly good thing for my metric of what good means in this context is that because I need evolutionary items for pretty much everybody. Actually, yeah, Gengar needs one too. I forgot. So everyone except for Typhlosion needs an evolutionary item, which means that I'll have to like kind of work within some restrictions, which I like the idea of. God, Lick is so bad. I feel like at this point, I feel like I get rid of a Mean Look. Gengar is strong enough to hit pretty much anything that would switch in pretty hard. Although I gotta keep in mind that Steel resists Ghost and Dark in this gen. Which, like, on the one hand, I kind of like that because I feel like Ghost types especially, but I guess also Dark types to an extent, go pretty unchecked these days, given that I think the only Ghost resist / immunity is Normal and Dark now, instead of Normal, Dark, and Steel. And like Dark is resisted by what itself, Fighting, and I think that's it. So like, yeah. But then again, I think Steel types were probably too strong defensively with those two resistances. Granted, they had low Spit F to kind of make up for that, but I guess Ghost was physical back in the day. So it's so interesting. Obviously, there's a myriad of reasons why things were the way they were in Gen 1. And even just like the first few gens, rather, but it's interesting to me that Ghost was physical and Dark was special. Obviously, Dark was special to, I think, like, even out the number of physical types versus special types, I want to say. Or something to that effect. Because, like, Steel was the physical type added, and so Dark was the special type that was added in Gen 2. But, like, Ghost, to me, obviously you associated that with Shadow Ball, which I tend to think of as a special move. It doesn't really make much sense that it's physical, other than that Ghost was a physical type, but the move itself makes more sense, I think, as a special move. Whereas Dark types, I feel like, are mostly associated with physical attackers. Even pre-physical special split, like Tyranitar, Sneasel, Crawdaunt, and Sharpedo, as mentioned before, these are all Pokemon with, like, higher attack than special attack. So it's... Whereas, like, Ghost types, like Gengar and Misdreavus. And I guess Dusclops and Bayonet were physical Ghost types, actually. But yeah, for the first two gens, the Ghost types that were introduced, all four of them, or two of them if you just want to count, like, evolutionary lines, were special attackers. And so, I mean, I guess like that emphasizes more so their defensive, their typing for defensive usage. But then it's like, well, if you're gonna have a mechanic like same type attack bonus, then it feels kind of shitty for you to not be able to utilize your best attacking stat with that. But the limitations, like, I don't think it's the worst thing ever. Especially because, you know, Gengar could make use of the elemental punches being special. Alakazam was much the same way. Although Psychic is a special type, so he could actually use Stab. But then, yeah, you get to mons like Crawdaunt, and it's just like, what the fuck is this thing supposed to do? Either use its terrible special attack stat to get Stab, or just run coverage? Like, physical coverage? But, like, what physical coverage does Crawdaunt even get? Maybe a fighting move? Maybe? Vice Grip? Like, it's so strange. I don't understand. Na-na-na-na-na. No, no. No, 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 no. Don't want to trigger the base fight off screen when I get there. Well, shit. Is it like a 6%? I wonder what the actual odds are. This might actually be Water Veil, unironically. So we can't get a burn, potentially. Okay, it's not Water Veil. I think Goldeen gets Water Veil, though, no? Yeah, it's Swift Swimmer Water Veil, in vanilla at least. This... I know Goldeen's kind of iconic, but this has got to be one of my least favorite. There's not many Pokemon that I, like, dislike the designs for. Oh my god. But, like, Goldeen and Seaking, not only are they terrible stat-wise, I've never really cared for their designs either. You have higher defense. So I think I just Ember and just see how much this does. It does enough. Maybe switching into Ghastly wouldn't be the worst thing ever. I'm so close to a Pokemon Center anyway. I'm gonna look up this BN6 base encounter rate. Undernet 0 for the story. Graveyard 2 for SP. Dude, what's funny is they actually increased the, it's a higher encounter rate than we had to deal with back on the GBA. It was 3.4% back in the day in, like, just regular Graveyard, because we didn't have all of the Graveyard areas. Some of them got cut in the localization or whatever. I wonder why that was. Why so much got cut from BN6 on the way over. But anyway, in the LC, it's 5.9% versus 3.4, which is, like, still low. And it's one of those things where you probably can't sneak run in that area because you can't, like, run from encounters. It's just like with pretty much every other base encounter. Except for in 3, I think. Right? I don't think BN3 has a random... I don't think BN3 has a random base encounter. Another point in BN3's corner. I might press on a little bit further. Do I want to? I don't mind going a little bit further, actually. Like, we go through this cave real quick. I'm kind of feeling it. I mean, I fucking love this game. I do. There's definitely a strong nostalgic pull, but I just... I know HGSS has its issues, like, I'm very aware of that. But it is one of those where I'm like... They just don't really... The ones that bother me are kind of remedied in this hack. But, like, the story one, I just don't really... In this particular instance, I don't really care that much. I like it in some cases when Pokemon has more of a story focus. See Gen 5 or Gen 7. I do like those games, kind of in large part because of the focus on storytelling. But I don't feel like I need that in every Pokemon game. Sometimes it's okay to have a Pokemon game, or like just like a game, I guess, in general, that is like more of a pure adventure. And I would personally take Gen 2 over Gen 1 in that particular case. Like, been sneak running for the past hour. Well, oh shit. Well, have you still been getting into regular encounters though? Because base should still show up with the sneak run. I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't see why base wouldn't, because like that, ever since BN3, I want to say they changed that. Because there were definitely times in BN2 where I sneak ran away from bosses. Because like I would just run around and they just like would not show up. And like that appears to happen sometimes, but I want to say BN3 is the one that altered that. Nothing. Well, that's good that you're able to run from regular encounters, though. And you're sure you're in Graveyard 2 as well? Because I don't know what else it could be besides just like bad RNG, which sucks. And I mean, there's not like a prerequisite that you're missing either, potentially. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably just bad RNG, which sucks. Just dog shit RNG. Gotta love it. Everything's done. Damn, dude. Oh, we got the boost. Got the boost. It's lit. I think lick kills now at +1. Nope. That's so funny. Never punished. Lick again. Yeah, it sucks though. It's gotta just be an RNG thing. But it'll be I'm looking forward to doing DN6's post game, primarily obviously because the combat in that game's great. I mean, I think the combat is good in most of the Battle Network games, but 6 definitely has the best combat. We'll see. I just think the story kind of sucks. Until like the very end of it, I think is like actually kind of cool. But most of BN6, like campaign-wise, is just not very good, I think. I don't really like the pool of bosses that much either. But like the core combat is the best in the series. So I'm looking forward to it from that angle, because like messing around with, like I just loved yeah, what is it, machine gun spam with a race cross. There's like so many fun builds you can do. But what I was gonna say is I'm more so looking forward to it so that I can finally be done with the post game in those games. Just because I'm feeling kind of burnt out on Battle Network, I think. It's been a lot since the LC's dropped. Maybe I can bait a flash fire boost. Only thing I haven't done is all the virus battles. Pretty sure that's just optional. Well, I think you have to do the virus battles to get one of the Django chips, right? Django SP. I remember having to do that. Like having to beat the gold Mr. Prog for a Django SP, I want to say. But I guess if you have the title mark for Mega Chips, then that seems weird to me. But I also don't know what the prereqs are for, But I don't know what the prereqs are for base to spawn in the first place. What the fuck? That's an interesting play. First fight for V... Dude, what? Stop spamming roar. What the hell? I guess... Watch it, it's not gonna roar this time, right? Okay, it does. But it failed. Oh, you can't roar out ghost types. Oh, yeah. No. Wait, what? Why did it fail? Wait a second. I'm very curious about this now. Roar. Bulbapedia. I was like, for a second I thought it was you couldn't roar out ghost types. Because I know they're not trapped by, like, a shadow tag, at least after a certain gen. sound-based move. Roar fails if used against Pokemon soundproof or rooted by Ingrain. This might be a Gen 5. This might have been adjusted for Gen 5 though, because this is a hack that happened when Gen 5 was out. Will now always fail if the user's level is in wild battles. Roar will now always fail if the user's level is less than the target's. Regardless of Pokemon's level, Roar is not reflected. If used by the player's Pokemon, if a wild Pokemon uses against a player, it will force. Okay. I feel like it was the level thing, but then it worked after. I don't know what that was. It was very odd. I don't have any awakenings, right? No Fire Emblem awakenings, no. No repels either. Alright, Ghastly's fast though. Gotta be the scripted fight with SP. Aeron! I wish this was a pure steel type. I like the Aeron line a lot, actually. I just wish it wasn't rock steel. Like that is like the only thing. I think I will at some point stream Dre's Boris hack. Because I've never played it. I could stand to go back to Oris and just like... Obviously a big criticism of Gen 6 is the difficulty being extremely easy. So playing a Drayano hack of a Gen 6 game sounds like it might actually fix it for me, but I don't know. I feel like part of it too is just like what you've heard a lot is like, you know, the lifeless models and the slow battle animations and blah blah blah. And I guess you could say these battles are slow too, which they kinda are. I don't think it's as bad as the early 3D titles though, for sure. Which is why I think some kind of, I know remaster remakes, yeah, eye roll, I get it. But it's like, I feel like the 3DS Pokemon games need the most help, right? So I don't think they should be remade, but I think if they remaster them, then having some kind of speed toggle and like, among other things, would be nice. But they're not going to do that. They're going to wait until they remake XM. Well, I guess they're doing ZA, but it'd be great to get like a... Dude, I love video game collections. Like, you know, the Mega Man collections that Capcom's done, even the fighting game collections they've done, which I haven't played, but I like that they exist. I like the concept of them. The Castlevania collections that Konami's been doing. Even the Metal Gear collection, which I know is, like, questionable in quality or whatever, compared to emulating, but, like, yeah, whatever. There's all sorts of other instances. You've got, like, remade collections like Crash and Spyro and whatnot. And I'm like, I wish that the first parties would do more with that. Not just Nintendo, but Sony too. Like, I would buy a Ratchet and Clank collection on PC. I would buy a Sly Cooper collection. I've never played those games. Like, I'd love a chance to, like, play those games officially, because I could go out of my way to emulate, but I'm just like, I don't care that much. I've got too much to play aside from that. It's like, with emulation, it's like, the options are literally limitless, but that's the thing, is I'll get overwhelmed by that. If I'm throwing every game that I could possibly play in my backlog, I'm just like, no, I have to take it like one step at a time, focus on like, you know, the series that I'm currently chipping away at, Final Fantasy and Yakuza in particular. And like, you know, kind of go from there. But to finish my thought, I wish Nintendo wasn't doing their online subscription service thing. First of all, I think it'd be nice to be able to buy them a la carte. But dude, imagine, they used to do these at a certain point. They had some collections, like, you know, Super Mario All-Stars, I guess, is kind of one That's like a remade collection for Super Nintendo. And then like Kirby had one on Wii, Zelda had one on GameCube. I'm sure there's other examples as well, but like I miss that from them and the possibilities for that, right? Like imagine a Pokemon 3DS collection, a Pokemon DS collection, a Pokemon Gens 1 through 3 collection, or if you want to do GBA separate, fine, whatever. But just like, that sounds so... As much as I'm not super interested in playing the vanilla versions of most of these games, the idea of having like a lovingly made collection of the first 5 gens to some capacity, they wouldn't probably bundle all of those in one. It'd be split up for sure. Oh yeah, Sturdy's not a real ability in this gen. So we can just one-shot this probably. Nice. But yeah. And then like the 3DS games, I feel like those are recent enough to where they would maybe even remaster them one at a time. Because, you know, Luigi's Mansion 2 got a remaster. I want to say that was 50. I don't think that was a full 60. If it was a full 60, I am eating my shoe right now. I haven't really paid much attention to most Switch. It's 60? It's 60? There's no fucking way, dude. Oh my god. I mean, I kind of liked Luigi's Mansion 2 when I played it on 3DS, but a remaster of, like, barely a 10-year-old game that was $40 for 60? I don't know, dude. Whatever. Not that I was ever gonna... Not that I was interested in playing Luigi's Mansion 2 again anyway, but... Goddamn. At least, like, Link's Awakening, which I think... Personally, I really like Link's Awakening remake. It kind of sold me on Link's Awakening, where I had kind of... I don't want to say struggled with it, but like I had never beaten it prior to the remake. I had played it. I'd gotten quite far in it. But I like the remake quite a bit. I think something like the Link's Awakening remake should have been like 40 or 50. But that's like way more effort than the Luigi's Mansion 2 remaster, and they're the same fucking price. Oh man, that's crazy. That's wild. Sucker Punch. Ooh. Not a physical attacker, but that's kind of spicy. I kind of like that. Do I take the paralysis chance? Is it a 20% chance? Searching for Lick Pokemon might be a little questionable, but it pulled up what I was looking for. What are the odds of paralysis here? 30%. That's like a Scaldbird chance. I like those odds. I lick those odds. God damn it. It's time to get rid of Curse. I feel like we're gonna be at a point. We're gonna get our 3rd member before Bugsy. And then where's the rest of my there it is. The next one before Whitney. The following one before maybe before Morty, but I forget if that route is blocked off in this hack. I think it might be, actually. I'm just thinking, like, I'm gonna have more options, so I feel like I won't have to rely on Curse. You know, it's like Scyther's gonna be dealt with by Quilava. If I have to Curse Scyther, then I'm really in trouble. Plus, it's probably gonna have Pursuit with Technician boost, so I don't even know if I live that if I stay in on it, kind of deal. And it's faster than Ghastly. If I'm a Haunter by then, it would still be faster because I think it's base 105 versus 95 for Haunter. So I just keep saying this because I think Curse is just not useful anymore. It could have been useful against Pidgeotto. And I guess it came in handy against the Sage guy at the top of the thingy. But yeah. Back into you, we get the Flash Fire boost, that's right. Boy, are you Flash Fire though? We'll find out. You're not. Probably Flame Body. Nice to a KO. Of course. Although I think Smog has a high poison chance, like higher than usual. That might be Scald Burn chance as well. Which is funny to say instead of just saying 30%, but... Let's see. 40%? Wow. Not very many of those out there. Interesting. How many 40% odds moves are there in Pokemon? I know there's a lot of 30%. There's like 30%, I think it's 30% flinch for like Rock Slide and stuff like that. 30% Scald Burn. 30% Parachance from Discharge. Like 40% though. Bum ba da ba ding ding dang dong. I love getting into random encounters because they waste my damn time and they are fucking pointless. Fuck you, waste your time on some random encounters now. Waste your time on random encounters now. What am I don't even know what I'm doing. What you got? Slowpoke? This was another contender for a team member, actually. Either Bro or King, but I opted for not this. But like as far as special attacking water types go in this gen, I do like the slow twins. Would you just attack me here? No. Goes for Growlithe. Alright, I guess I go for Para. No Para. What is... Do all of my mons have Sheer Force somehow in a gen where that doesn't exist? Because I'm just, like, not getting these status procs. It's crazy. It's really not, but... It feels kind of heinous. When I clicked Ember a grand total of, like, 20 or 25 times against that Pidgeotto over the course of those 2 attempts, and no burn... Of course, you know, it's rolling for RNG every single time, so it's not like a guarantee that you'll get it 1 in every 10 times, literally. It's that it's, you know, 10% every time you click it. So, like, odds are, over the course of 100 Embers, you should get 10. But over the course of just 10 or 20, it's like... Yeah, probability is a thing that I am claiming to know more about than I do, but I also kind of remember quite a bit about it from school, so... Take that, public education system, I don't know what to say. Take that public education system for having me actually retain information. I was decently studious for a while there. There were certain subjects I definitely tuned out. And looking back, I would have... Honestly, I would have, like, given myself a wake-up slap, so to speak, in certain classes. But, I don't know, it's like certain classes I would have after lunch, it was just, like... I just could not... Especially with, like marching band and stuff like that. After... I guess it was after school, but it's, like... Get to school early to practice, and then, like, you know, eat lunch, get sleepy. Sleep through AP US History. Which I definitely... I sat in, like, the front row, too, which is really heinous. Don't do that. If you're, like, currently in school, please, like, don't. Like, That's one of those things where it's like, I had like no shame, I guess, but it's embarrassing looking back at it for sure. I passed the class fine, but I didn't get the college credit. Not that I don't think I even needed it though, maybe. I feel like I took a history in college, but I don't remember anything about it. It was just like show up, take notes, take the test. And maybe just the third one in some cases, and I ended up doing just fine. I have no ominous wins, so sending this out is really just for Switch training purposes, in which case I probably... Oh, we're in the rain, though. No ethers. No great ethers. Oh, I guess I could come back. I'm just gonna fight him. You still have low spit F, though. I know it's in the rain and you resist. Oh, we burnt, so... I've definitely gotten a few burns off of Ember. It's just that the fact that I didn't get it up against Pidgeotto was really annoying. And that was like the one that really mattered. We pulled through, though. Mud Sport, okay. Electricity's power is weakened. I get that it makes sense for that to be a ground type move or whatever, but it's also like, well, ground is immune to electric, so what in the hell is the point of that? Even in doubles, like, aren't you better off clicking literally anything else? Like, you know, Earthquake or something? Which, of course, this thing doesn't have, but I'm just saying. That's one of those Pokemon cries that's, like, ingrained into my brain. Ba-da-da-da-da. Beat-a-dee-dom. Yeah. Does Flame Wheel kill from... If Ember did that much, it might be a roll. It's definitely close. And then again, my attack is lower. Okay, wait. Okay, maybe the attack versus special attack difference is more than I realized. Also, Machop probably has higher defense than special defense, to be fair. This should kill, though. God, I, like, don't want to stop playing. I guess I could just keep going. There's nothing, like, forcing me to stop before getting the next badge, but I'm also just like, it's so nice to be playing this again. Because I had been waiting for Aurora Crystal, and I'm glad that I chose not to wait. Maybe this will manifest Aurora Crystal to drop. I know the source code to some of those games, some of the DS games got leaked, which might paint a target on ROM hackers' backs, potentially, but undoubtedly that information, should they choose to utilize it, which there might be, could be they choose to not use it so as to not have the target painted on them be at least as big, but if it's being used, then it certainly is speeding up the process. And I'm all for it because I don't think there's enough Gen 4 ROM hacks. Even though I tend to prefer to just play Vanilla Plus hacks like this, I wouldn't mind seeing more ambitious ones. And maybe there are that I just haven't looked into, but I do feel like still Gen 3 is like the target much of the time. This Shockwave. Nice. Can I get the charcoal now? I think it's either in here. No, maybe it's just this log. Oh, full heal. Maybe you get it. I think you get it after. No, maybe, let me just talk to him and see. I think maybe you get it after though. You do slowpoke well. Yeah. The only thing I lament is that the outsides of the gyms don't look different enough to me. I don't really like the uniform. I know that's like what it was to this point in the series. That's like my only lament. With like, cause like, you know, the fact that these doors slide open, like they're different. Oh, you give a TM for thief? Yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah, that's thief. Wait, can I get member number 3 right now? I don't see why not. Maybe that'll be a good. Maybe I get this encounter now and then maybe call it. Save some for next time. Go eat a little bit of a dinner. Dinero. Which obviously doesn't mean dinner, but you know. We can pretend. Pretty sure. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to find this encounter here, but I'm just gonna look it up real quick just in case if I could find which tab this is. There's not really a point in exploring over there. I'll have to go over there later anyway. Oh, wrong, dock. It's a 5%. And this is the only location you can get it prior to Kanto. It's better than nothing, but it is a 5% encounter. I think I'd rather do that now than do it at the start of the next stream, especially because if I get a shit nature, I can just change it. Pineco. I kind of like Fortress. It's actually not a bad mon, surprisingly. I mean, it's slow, but it only has one weakness, and it has like solid attack and like really good defense, obviously. I do like it, but I do favor another bug steel type, so it's like hard to. It's one of those where it's like it's hard to justify running Fortress when Scizor is an option. Although I don't really like Scizor's back sprite in this gen. I like that the wings aren't visible. But we'll be using him in the Pokemon World Tournament, so I'll get to see that glorious Gen 5 Scizor sprite. Along with the other glorious Gen 5 sprites. Gotta love it. This is a 5%. Not the one I'm going for, though, but shout out to Misdreavus. I think I've always liked Misdreavus' design. It's just not very good, which is why they gave it an evolution. I guess with a Violite it could be decent, though. But that's not in this gen. But yeah, Misdreavus has a cool design. I dig it. Pikachu. Potential unpopular opinion, I don't like the divoted tail. Just like I don't like how female Heracross looks, because I like the pointy horn more. Like that to me is like iconic Heracross, and like the squared off tail is iconic to Pikachu. I don't hate the idea of like when they introduce the gender differences like visually in Gen 4. The idea is interesting, but there's just like certain ones where like it just looks wrong to me in some cases. And then in other cases it's just too subtle. So it's like I don't know what more you could really do. You could change their pose maybe. like, I've changed their demeanor a bit. But those are just two that come to mind. I feel like most of them I don't really notice or care about. Carnivine. I want to say this is Grass Dark in this hack, which is kind of neat. Well, off you go with the Shiftery and Cacturn as a kind of mediocre Grass Darks. But I guess Zarude is a good Grass Dark type. That comes way later, of course. And Shiftery is just not terrible. It's not as bad as Carnivine, which isn't normally a Grass Dark. But then, like, Cacturn's like a weird mon. It's super strong, but it's super slow and frail. So it's like... it's not great in that regard. Also, times 4 weak to U-turn. I think it didn't have a niche in, like, ADV singles because of a, like, Subseed with Sandveil or something like that. But, like, no Sucker Punch in that gen is, like, kind of unfortunate. I guess it makes sense for a cactus to not be fast, but it's also like, could you at least make it bulky, though? I mean, it's literally like a thick plant with spikes. I feel like that would imply some kind of bulk. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe its HP stats decent. I don't know, probably not. I think its defenses are like 60 or something bad. $70, 60, 60. It's not great. But 115 in both attacking stats is pretty good, but then it's like, wouldn't you rather just have one of those be high and then put the rest of the other one into bulk? Here we go. There he is. How do I weaken this? I think you don't die to a single Ember, right? And if you do, I don't want you. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just doesn't stay in the ball. We're sweet. Steal some berries with the thief from some trainer mons. I bet you live a quick attack. I would like to not do that if possible. I think this squad is going to be pretty sick, though. I know I say that every time, but yeah, I like the look of this squad. It's an unfortunate crit. Because Ghastly definitely doesn't want to deal with this. Can you at least shake once? Ooh. Pretty good move pool. You've got to live a quick attack, there's no way. Okay, lit. That's actually literally perfect. He's in the red. We throw a ball. Beautiful. Alright, we definitely name you after some kind of mobster. Go Corneo? Do we go... I'm like thinking of video game mobsters in particular. We could name him like Pacino or something after like De Niro. I don't feel like De Niro works as well. Pacino is interesting. I kind of like Corneo though for the Final Fantasy reference. I'm trying to think, like... Gosh, like what other... There's certainly other games, like there's the Mafia franchise and stuff that I'm not familiar with. GTA, I'm sure there's options. Let me look at my Steam library real quick. No, not seeing a lot of mobsters per se. Maybe there's a Fallout character, but I can't think of one. I mean, there's certainly a Fallout character that would work. I want to name him Benny, though. Oh, or we name him after a Yakuza from Yakuza. I don't know if anyone has like a bird tattoo in Yakuza or not. Oh, there's one of them has a crane, that's right. Let me just see. There's a master list here. Yeah, there's a crane. That doesn't quite work. I mean, I could... What Yakuza character would fit with Murkrow here? I'm trying to think. Or just go Corneo. I'm just gonna name him Corneo for now. And if I think of something better, we can do Name Raider later. Alright, let's take a look. Neutral nature, very finicky. Super luck. There's no Moxie in this gen, of course. So our other option will be Insomnia. And having a Sleep Absorber is not the worst thing ever. But I can run Scope Lens Night Slash. Although critical hit rate is weird in this gen, where like that doesn't guarantee crit rate. Pokemon. Was it Gen 6 or something where they changed it to where you don't need as many buffs? Or no, maybe I'm Gen 2. Gens 2 to 5, a crit deals 2 times. I thought there was a change. Oh yeah, there is. There's a table. So Gens 3 to 5, it's a 1 in 16. But this thing has super luck. Heightens the critical hit rate ratio of moves. Okay, so we're at 1 in 8. A 1 in 8 chance. So a Scope Lens would go to a 1 in 4. And then I guess a Focus Lens would... Or sorry, a Focus Energy with Scope Lens would be a 1 in 3. And the most you can get is 4 and above, or plus 4 and above, which is a 50% chance, whereas in Gen 6... you only need plus 2, so if you did a Scope Lens plus Super Luck, it'd be 50%. You get 1 more buff, like with the Focus Energy, and it's 100% crit rate. Had to go back to the Underground for GB first. Oh, okay. So you were missing something. Damn. Well, it sucks that you had to run around and ended up, you know, like basically wasting that time. But hey, at least you can do it now. Or at the very least, whenever you get a chance to. But, I mean, I feel like Super Luck is probably better than Insomnia in this case. As much as I was complaining about Sleep, I guess a lot of Sleep users are Psychic or Ghost type, so this would actually work pretty well as a Sleep Absorber in that case. Even Grass types with Spore, we match up well against. So, yeah, but I mean, Super Luck is... pretty good anyway. So it'll be a 1 in 8 chance, and then if I do decide to go with Scope Lens, it'll be a 1 in 4. Oh, and then I guess Night Slash would be an additional 1. So like running a high crit move, that would be 1 in 3. And then if I decide to run Focus Energy, if I can get that, it can be a 50% crit rate with Night Slash specifically. But I think I just take the buff and don't try to leverage it too much. I don't think it's really worth it. Solid though. Good move pool here. Obviously Astonish is kind of whatever, but Murkrow's pretty fast. I think it's base 91. Yeah, it's pretty fast considering it's a few levels under these guys. I mean, lit. I'm trying to remember where you get the EXP share in this game. It was probably moved. Also, I'm pretty sure that lady sells lava cookies once you beat Team Rocket in the well. So that'll be like, I can just stock up on those if that's the case, and not have to deal with status restoratives for like the rest of the game, basically. And the Thunder is coming in, so I think this is a good place to call it. Step outside real quick. We'll just leave the squad as is for now. Gonna make a save before disaster strikes. Thunderbolt named Disaster. Stupid. Alright, anyhow, thank you guys for sticking with me. Solid progress, even with a little bit of a rough start there. Yeah,